me out. Y'all have a telepathic mind link. You think Aurora's not gonna get some fucking funny ideas off of that?
Listen, it's only...
Did they change?
Did they change?
They did, and I'll move you guys over there right now.
Oh god!
Oh no! Oh no! I'm worried! I'm worried!
Oh!
Ayo.
Oh, you guys are fine.
Aurora, okay.
It's
Aurora
because of the
jumped
coffee.
up. It's because the
Oh,
coffee
so she
and the
got
servants.
some big brownie points with the servants.
Kiss ass.
How's
You
that?
got some,
Listen,
you got a little brown on your nose there, honey. You might want to wash your
she
face.
makes coffee for her mom, and her mom is like, "Where's my goddamn coffee? Put that shit on my desk right now!" Like, she's that kind of boss. So Aurora's just used to making coffee for people now, and it gets stir crazy if she can't do it. While she's in somebody
Works in
else's
her
home,
favor, man.
while she's in somebody else's home, she won't do it. But if they're just out and about in the woods camping out again, yeah, she'll wake up bumfuck early in the morning to make sure everybody gets their goddamn coffee. Hell yeah.
But yeah, Aurora's soul shrinking went up. She got some big points with the servants. Otherwise, you guys had a lovely little carriage ride in separate carriages, the peasant and the royal carriage, on your way to the Andus. And last I checked, I believe it was Larkspur and Rosanna were gonna go flying. Astara, Aurora, and Forrest went to the kitchen, and
Yes.
Maddie's doing something. I don't believe he told me what he's doing yet.
Nope, I haven't.
He's doing.
I was no. What happened was I was going to, but then I started hearing the sleeping muffles of Dusty.
He's just doing servant things. He's not being seen nor heard. Apparently.
Exactly.
He's
That's
just servant things.
I'm just here. I'm
just here.
Per request of the
Fair.
princess. Apparently.
So I thought we could pick up with the kitchen people since we didn't really finish that.
Because someone fell asleep last week.
With the lovely
Silence
lullaby.
you.
With the lovely lullaby in the background.
I know, right?
It's okay.
I think that's what it was.
That's fair. So if I remember correctly, we were doing introductions now that the chef has calmed down and has a second to actually talk to you guys. I believe that's what was happening. I don't remember.
Roughly.
Yes, that was what was happening.
Istara asked for dinner, and Aurora asked
Yes.
for a weird meal of 4 carrots and an apple.
Right.
But it's not for her.
Yeah. So I remember that
carrots.
she put those ingredients on the table as now like facing and addressing you guys.
Yes, because we got her name. And we were awkwardly introducing ourselves, and Aurora and Astara introduced
Renaya,
ourselves. What was
Yeah,
that?
Renaya.
Yeah, Renaya.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when we were like, Forrest, are you gonna introduce yourself? And that's when we heard Dusty's breathing. We're like, ooh, baby.
So yeah, we'll pick up with the introductions.
Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah, it's your turn. Sleepy buns.
Yeah. The name's Forrest. Nice to meet you.
Are there any food requests I can do now that I have a second for you all?
This will be plenty for me, thank you. And she bows politely, gathering up the carrots and the apple and kind of saying goodnight to everybody else and running off.
Did she just take carrots and an apple?
I believe they're gonna be for the horses and not for her. But
She
that's
was
just an
all-
assumption.
She is an animal lover.
Astara's gonna turn
I would-
back to Renaya, hearing her question and realizing that who she is. Just be like, I don't mean to interrupt any preparations for breakfast or your evening. I apparently missed dinner because I was sleeping after losing my breakfast. I will quite literally just take toast, anything that you can spare.
You want me to use my culinary skills to make you toast?
If you
All
are
right,
more
and
than
she
willing
just-
to make something else, please. I'm just
Do you know
trying
how-
not to intrude.
Not just any toast. It'll be
French
It'll
toast.
be the best toast.
Durian toast is just French toast.
It's like a little hole in the middle with like an egg in it.
Bird's nests? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, bird's
nests.
Toad in a hole.
Listen, like Astara literally went from like coffee and strawberries to throwing up to sleeping and missing dinner. She's like, I will take anything so I can eat breakfast in the morning.
You would see her turn to you, Forrest, be like, and you? Or you just hear the stare?
Apologies, I have disassociation issues. I will take. I will take some potatoes, please. I'll just take some potatoes for the night.
Just
Bud
potato?
lover.
Oh my god.
Unless you can make a steak,
Oh
some
my
steak and potatoes.
God.
Oh, sweet mother.
I'll see what I can do. If you will give me... And she, like, kind of looks outside to, like, try to gauge the time. If you give me, like, 30 minutes, I'll have toast and potatoes and maybe eggs.
If you need any assistance, I do know my way around a knife. I can't promise I'm as good as a cook as my mother. But I am willing to help since we did interrupt.
No, it's quite alright. I have my own team that seem to have dissipated for the moment. But, I could get that for you. You're welcome to wait in here or in the dining room or wherever you like.
It might be
If
better
you
to
do
wait in the.
here.
Here's perfectly fine.
Okay.
It might be better to wait in the dining room. That way, we're not in their way.
Oh, you don't know how to make yourself invisible, do you?
And you do.
More or less. Star's just gonna like step as far back into a corner and just stand like perfectly still, just like out of the way of everyone, just be completely silent.
You know what? I'll try it. I'll do a stealth check.
Sure,
I'm not
checks would be
stealth.
great.
I'm not stealth. Okay, we can stealth.
If you want to stealth.
I mean, she was just gonna politely just
17.
stand
This is
there.
gonna be fucking good.
17.
17, okay.
22?
Yeah, no, you guys are able to stay on it. You would see her collect a bunch of ingredients first and add them back to that table of where she was. And as she's like stands there for a second, just kind of like looking at the ingredients, trying to figure out what to make, she like takes in a deep breath and then just lets out a very loud yell as she rages again. And you see the spectral beings appear once more, and there's a whirlwind just beginning to happen as things are flying and cooking and being set up.
Oh my god, is she a barbarian?
She
We
is.
love ourselves.
Oh my god.
We love
She's a
ourselves
very
barbarian
mad
chef.
chef.
Star's just gonna like lean
yeah.
over to Forrest, like, and this is why I enjoy staying in the kitchen.
I see.
But yeah, you guys would know she specifically is handling all the things that would be hot, and she's just bare hand grabbing them to maintain this rage.
I'm not allowed.
Yes.
I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't allowed to be in the kitchen when I accidentally unleashed my pet eyed in it. Let's just say releasing a giant wasp into the kitchen was not a good idea.
Excuse me? You have a giant wasp for a pet?
Had. Unfortunately, he flew away.
I'm suddenly very concerned for a giant wasp in this area, but okay.
I think you
I
guys
think it
would
got eaten
notice.
by a dragon.
Oh god.
Just reminded of her brothers, like. Alright.
Okay, you guys would notice like things are being like tossed across the kitchen between the servants as like there's just full coordination going on because they all know exactly how to prepare this meal and be out of the way of each other. But
Okay,
there's
so
not
it's
necessarily,
coordinating.
Like, call outs this time. Yeah.
It's coordinated.
It's all-
It's not rage tossing.
No, I mean she would toss stuff for sure, but it is a coordinated I want to say like controlled chaos of it, like as most
Yes.
kitchens are. As she begins to prepare things, you notice she does actually pull out a piece of meat to cook, and she's just like, instead of pounding it like normal, she's just punching it to tenderize it herself.
Hell yeah.
This
We
woman
love
is
a
going
queen.
off.
Boss-ass
She is cooking
bitch.
very mad. And I would say after a few moments, your bird's nest toast would come out a lot faster than Forrest's steak and potatoes. As she even like put like a nice little garnish and has I believe, I would think like an orange juice next to it because she heard that you like were throwing up and stuff. Get some vitamins back in you. And then she like keeps going back to making these tasted eggs. I think she would make these eggs as more of like a mashed potato, so it's such a fast meal right now. But some food is presented.
Star will give her like a nod of gratitude. She's like, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it."
I don't think she acknowledges it because she's focused on keeping this rage up. And then after like another 20-ish minutes, she would have the food ready for you, Forrest, and you would see her calm down again, and the spectral beings would dissipate once more as she kind of like takes a seat across from you. And she also kind of made herself some of the food since she was making extra anyways, and she kind of sits down, leans back to like look at you both.
Thank you
Is
so
this-
much.
Of course, you are welcome to come in and ask me anything if you would need. Just understand that I might be a bit focused when you do.
That is completely understandable.
Yeah, definitely.
We invaded your domain. This is your place.
If, to be honest, technically, you guys outrank me, I would assume, so I don't have the most say in that.
Spending a lot of time... I don't think so. In here specifically, no. You would outrank me in any kitchen. And believe me.
Side note, I don't know if you guys lost hit points for whatever reason, but if you do eat this, you do get to roll a d8 for hit points back.
Hey!
Very nice.
Nope, no hit points lost. Someone hit me.
I don't think you guys lost any,
Quick,
but if you
someone hit
did,
me.
for some reason.
Oh, man. No, Star's probably very happy, just, like, happily eating. Like, no, like, when you're really hungry, you, like, that first bite of food, you do that little, like, happy
Do a
wiggle.
little happy dance.
Yeah.
Star fully is doing, like, the happy dance, and the hangry is leaving her body. She's like, yay.
Mm-hmm. She would pipe up for a moment. I do want to apologize if I sounded pointed when you first arrived. Like I said, it's very focused in here. Not many people come in while I'm working.
Apology accepted, but totally not necessary.
No apologies were needed. We invaded your space. We should be the ones that are apologizing to you. Well, I also apologize for not introducing myself right away. As I said, I have disassociative issues. Unfortunately, it's been something I've had to deal with since getting enrolled in the school.
I'm sorry to hear that. Stuff like that could be very hard to work through, especially in a controlled environment. May I ask, before we go on further, is there anything I should know for your palettes or anyone else's palettes in the group? I want to make sure I have the right ingredients prepped and prepared for you all.
I do believe one of our traveling companions, Familiar, really enjoys strawberries? But I would not know. Wait, after growing up with Maddie and Lark, do I know their dietary restrictions?
I'm actually thinking that over, and I'm trying to think of something.
Or like preferences?
The only thing I can think of is, well, I just think this is kind of funny that Lark has a preference for fish-based foods and has, I don't know, let's just make something funny. They have a allergy to kiwis. Mild allergy. Hives, won't die, but will be in
Itchy
great
lips.
discomfort for several days.
Itchy lips.
Very
Bless the restoration.
Astara will actually sit there and start thinking about, like, her past, and I'm like, it might actually just be easier. Do you have a piece of parchment that I can write on?
She would, just kind of like, she's sitting at this table with you guys. It is more like a desk-looking table, essentially, in there.
Mhm.
And she would just pull it out and pull out some ledger paper and a quill for you.
Astara will start writing down, like, strawberries, no kiwis, fish
Underlined 3 times.
Yeah, like, no kiwis ever. Like, fish, and she knows now that Maddie likes, like, sweet coffee. So it's, like, sweeter things, just like...
She would also know that he actually avoids any mushrooms.
No mushrooms?
Oh, that's...
You would know the Star, you in particular would know the reason behind that.
Yep. I feel like Astara
Does Larkspur?
folded the piece of paper.
Actually, no. This is one of the few things he hasn't shared with Lark.
Drama.
The reason
I am
that
not.
is.
Star probably folded the piece of paper in half. On one side, be like, okay, and then no, and just be like, no kiwis, no mushroom, and like on the other side, just start listing out things that she's observed in the last 2 days around each other.
I just
Good.
You first. You were talking first.
Oh no, I just said that should suffice as sliding it over.
No escargot and no Brussels sprouts from me. Other than that, I'm good.
No snails and no sprouts. Got it.
God, don't tell Maddie. He'd be shocked. No snails?
Oh, my Brussels sprouts are
You can
so
have my
good.
snails.
Alright, that's it. I no longer want you anywhere near my daughter.
Star is just gonna look at Forrest and be like, but twice baked Brussels sprouts with cranberries. So good. You make them super crispy until they're just about burnt. Very good.
He thinks for a second. If you can make that, what she just said, I'll try it.
Honey, I can make anything you ask. You literally just have to ask.
Got it.
Is this you formally asking, Forrest?
Sure, I'll try it.
If you don't need it, I will.
Aurora would be rolling in her bed right now if she fucking heard him. Oh, she'd go so fucking silly if she was there.
But she's not.
I think we would sort of fade out of this scene as you guys are just continuing the inn, just having this nice little moment with this very mad chef.
I love it. Star is just I appreciate
Better
this
Gordon
woman.
Ramsay.
I was gonna say, the female version of Gordon Ramsay.
No, Star who hasn't been home is just this woman's amazing. I appreciate.
Reminds me of a chef in the school.
I think we would move out to Larkspur and Rosanna as you guys are walking out to go find Hootzifer.
Okay, so we need to be far enough away from the house so the guards don't shoot him, because that would be bad. But I don't want us too far from the house to make it look like we're trying to leave, because that's bad manners. So, and Larkspur doing some eternal math / girl math goes about 50 paces out, looks around. Does she see Hootzifer or is he hiding?
So if you want to make a perception check for me.
All right, perception.
Fell off the table.
All right,
You'd
so
like
that is
Rosanna can help.
18 plus 5, so that's 23.
You would see him at the edge of the forest line, just kind of not circling, but he is sort of just going back and forth. You would guess that he's trying to find a good place to land in the trees.
Oh, he's trying to land. Makes sense. Okay. Is Rosanna wearing a hat?
No, she would still be in a simple white blouse with a jumper skirt.
Okay, that's good, because I was gonna say, hold on to your hat. And Larkspur brings her hand up and lets out a very loud, long whistle.
You would see Hootsuver just like as he is like trying to just kind of like go up a bit as he like gets attention and tries to figure out like where that sound came from before like locking onto you. And he just starts coming real fast. Like you didn't make a different call than normal, so he's coming in hot.
Oh shit! 1 second. And she like lets out a sudden sharp. Okay. A quick sharp whistle, which means cool it!
Rosanna's just watching as Hootsuver's flying super fast. I was like, is this normal?
Sorry, he usually this is a recent thing when I call him. He's almost worried every time I call him. It's like I'm on the verge of death or something, but
There's a
He's
man in my
anxious.
room. He's gone. There was a man for a second.
Tell that man I said hi.
I will. But, sorry, go ahead.
Just hearing that, she looks over to them. Are you almost dead often?
aren't we always? We're dying from the second we're born.
That's morbid as fuck!
That's just from the flow of... That's the steady flow of time.
Yes. Time will kill us. So therefore, from the moment we are born, we are slowly dying.
It is logic that I cannot refute.
Now let's just hope he doesn't crash into the ground. I have a feeling our guests would not appreciate that.
You would see that he did slow down quite a bit. The leaves, any like loose leaves or like long clippings are still flying everywhere because it's still kind of fast. But he would swoosh towards you guys and like kind of stop as he like billows his wings to like let himself down like right in front of you.
All right, she's going to cast Speak with Animals. She's going to look at him. Hootsuver, you mind if me and Rosanna go flying with you?
He is gonna look at Rosanna and get like really close to your face.
She'll kind of like lean back like a little bit just from a suddenness. Eyes a little wide. She's never been this close to an owl. Let alone a giant one.
He's not gonna eat you.
Sensing you're like kind of standoffish, he just kind of boops you with his beak and then goes back.
She kind of freezes a moment. Or that.
He likes you. He doesn't just boop anyone.
What an interesting creature.
Oh yeah. He's my baby. You ready to go flying?
He would kind of like lower himself so you guys could get on.
How is this meant to work exactly?
Well, so there's two ways we can go about it. The most comfortable way for him that won't impede him landing is to go on his back. Alternatively, he can carry you in his talons.
I think impeding him less would probably be
Excellent.
more vital.
So here's what's going to happen. We're going to get on his back. And as you see, he's fairly large. So think of it kind of similar to riding like bareback on a horse, only way fluffier.
Oh. Okay.
Here, I'll get on first and then I'll help you up because I've done this millions of times. And Lark's gonna like go up on Hootzifer and then hold out a hand to Rosanna to pull her up.
She'll take the hands and like being cautious and also not fully entirely knowing where to sit. Because it's like horses are one thing, but this has wings.
You can be in front or you can hold me from behind, whichever you prefer.
She just like fully blinks. You should probably guide.
I can guide from either position. It's probably safer if you're in front though, so that way I can catch you if you slip. You will be
Okay.
completely fine. I have taken children on Hootzifer.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
She'll
And
go
one
in
time a
front.
potted plant. It's a long story. I'll tell you about it as we're flying.
That sounds.
Who knows? It'll be fine.
As she gets on hers, she'll kind of give like a little telepathic. Thank you, Christopher.
You see him like perk up and like, what the fuck? He's not used to that. But I was just like, what was that?
Alright. And when we're all situated, Lark's gonna look at Rosanna. Okay, are you ready? You're gonna hold on to his feathers that are slightly in front of you. Provide support, don't worry. He's used to it. And we're gonna lift off. It's going to feel weird at first. But when we start to glide, it'll be better.
Okay.
Okay, the hardest part is the takeoff.
It'll be just like a horse.
Exactly, just like a horse. That can fly, she says, as she suddenly looks at his fur. Alright, go!
Can I get an animal handling check from you, please?
Of course. That is my proficiency, actually.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that is a 17 plus 5, so that would be a whopping 22.
Alright, so your guys' takeoff, he's not as fast as you saw him coming in, but it's a bit more of a gentler takeoff as he slowly starts climbing up above the tree line, going out over the forested area. I think you guys would get this like really nice aerial shot of like the actual full extent of this estate now, which it's a good like I want to say like maybe 15 acres of land.
Ooh.
Wow. Let me just real quick.
Are you afraid of heights? Because this would be the time to find out.
This is the time to find out. That's well, that would be what, like a con. Yeah, that's a nice 10. Just yes, she's kind of like, at first she was very much like a oh okay. And she's like looking down, like, okay, maybe not look down.
Yeah,
Maybe
don't
we
look
can-
down.
Oh.
It's best to look straight ahead, I find.
That sounds good. And she like still glances down every now and then.
So, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you don't want to try doing tricks.
Perhaps not a first time.
Good idea. I didn't let my brothers do any tricks with Hootsufer until they had at least 10 rides under their belt.
10.
Well, when Hootsufer first became big enough to actually give rides, he could only do one person at a time, even with my baby brothers. So by the time both I and Hootsufer knew each other well enough for me to bring others on, my brothers were almost too large for all of us, so it's a process. That, and Hootsufer doesn't like it when other people ride him if I'm not with them.
That could make sense. She like kind of like has like one hand holding onto feathers, other hand like kind of like stroking a little bit while still holding on.
I think you would like. He wouldn't notice any crazy tricks, but there are like a couple like kind of deeper swooshes as he's like gliding around back and forth. It's not just like a straight go.
Yeah, Lark's just letting him have his fun. Like, she's trusting him to do the leading, to not like go too far from the estate, and if she does see that they're starting to go a little bit farther, she might like do a slight lean, which Hootsufer's body would like naturally follow. Because they've known each other for almost 30 years now. No, wait. Probably 15. 15 years.
So,
Let's see.
why did you come on this tour?
You could say that I have been very unwell the past couple of months, and only recently managed to be able to get out of bed. And my family and my aunts thought it'd be a good idea for me to re-enter society this way.
I'm sorry to hear you were unwell.
It's okay. Everyone gets unwell once in a while. Part of life.
That is true.
Besides, it wasn't all terrible. I got to catch up on some reading. I got to hang out with Maddie more in the last 3 months than I have in... the last 5 years, I guess.
You two seem quite close.
I wasn't kidding when I said me and Stara found him. Gee, I still remember like it was yesterday. Although, being elves, I guess time flows differently.
Quite.
He and Astara are my best friends. I know me and Stara are kind of at odds, but that's something we have to work out. Maddie's always tried to be a peacekeeper between the two of us, because we're two very headstrong women who were raised by two very independent women. I still remember when we were little and we tried to say we were going to take down the patriarchy. We set up barricades in the dining room chanting this as children. And our fathers asked if we knew what a patriarchy was, and we said yes, because clearly our mothers should be in charge. Because men were stupid, was our exact wording, I believe.
I must say, watching you all, it almost makes me envious.
You don't have close friends back home?
Hmm. I have one, though I don't see her quite often.
Well, now you got two.
She kind of like turns, like partially turns to look back. Two?
Yeah, me. Well, three if you count Hootzifer, because like I said, Hootzifer doesn't just boop anybody. He still hasn't given Astara a boop, but I think that's because he's mad at her on my behalf.
It's like when you're friends at someone, be like, I'm mad for you, don't worry about it.
I know what it is now.
What?
You and Astara, you very much remind me of my Lenore and her twin brother.
Oh?
They fight a lot, but at the end of the day, they are inseparable.
Yeah. Well, I'm angry at a few things, and unfortunately, it seems I am taking most of that out on Astara. So that is a conversation, or a fight, we have to have between the two of us, so...
Does it need to be a fight?
It depends on how it goes. Unfortunately, out of all of the wonderful traits I inherited from my mother, her gift of diplomacy is one that still escapes me to this day. I inherited my father's way of dealing with situations.
I assume that is with fists rather than words.
Not always, but mostly it depends. My father... Okay, let me put it this way. I don't know if you've ever met my father. Unlikely. He hates social situations in general. He is very much a wallflower. He lets my mom do all that. But my mother, where she will persuade you and make you, and have her slowly discuss and talk her way into you agreeing to her standpoint, my father will loom over you and encourage you on why it's in your best interest to agree with him.
Huh. So like my father.
It seems to be a running thing with dads because Uncle Asarath is the same way. I've heard stories from my aunt and my mom about how he deals with situations that kind of make me wish I could have seen it. Because it sounds like a story.
Every story is worth hearing.
That's what my mom always says.
It's quite true. That is why we search for knowledge.
That's something you're pretty interested in, isn't it?
I have to be. If not, what is my purpose as an archivist?
Is that what you want your purpose to be?
I do wish I could study more magic specifically, but collecting the knowledge of the world, well, it's an adventure in its own.
Fair. Question for the storyteller. Would Larkspur have heard about how her anti-youth had gone to New Worlds, or is that like a DLC secret?
Make me a history check.
Oh no! It's not a nat 1, but it is a 6.
It was a 6.
I think you would have heard that she left to go on an expedition, but I don't think you know for what exactly.
So she wouldn't know about like, oh, apparently there's other continents that haven't been
No.
discovered.
I think it's more like you heard it over just like, I guess, youth and
Talus.
why am I
Talus.
blanking on Talus? I was gonna say Terra, like that's not the right T name. But youth and Talus sort of just left one day and didn't really say why. Like that's
Okay.
what you would have overheard.
Only adults get to
Okay.
know. Well, you're an adult now.
Only
I'm like,
the
only
adults.
adults get to know about the secret continent.
Only adults of the DLC know.
Exactly. And your pale hand's not DLC, honey.
That's true. Knowledge is important, yeah. That's what my mom always says. But then again, she's a mistress of lore of the Fall Confederacy, so I think she has to say it. It's in the job description.
I guess you could say it's the same with the Overseers. We collect knowledge, we share knowledge. They say I have great things ahead of me. Sometimes I wonder just what those are. Only they know.
No one can. Well, that's cagey.
She just tilts her head.
That's like. So they're claiming to know your destiny without telling you what it is.
I guess you could put it that way.
Destiny's what you make of it. So for example, in my mom's family, typically, you follow one of your parents' professions. My grandfather has always worked closely with royalty, so my mother did the same. And their father before, and their daughter before, yada yada yada. It was expected that the firstborn of my mom's family probably would follow suit. Serve the Scale family in some way. Clearly, since I am here, she says, leaning back slightly on Hootsuper, holding her arms out to gesture towards the skies. I'm not there. I make my own destiny. I decided that I didn't want to be a bard or a scholar. I would much rather be out here on Hootsuper or hunting with Maddie and Phantom. Heck, even reading books in dusty nooks with Istara. I'm happy you're here. I make my own destiny. And fuck anyone who tells me otherwise.
She gives a small smile as very clearly she's taking in Lark's words and really going over them with herself.
And
I
apparently
would
there's a
say-
cat on Hootsuper.
There's a
Oh.
cat!
But
There's a random cat on Hootsuper!
it's just Tazo, it's fine. I'm gonna say, Rosanna, as you're looking at Larkspur, you guys are currently flying back towards the chateau itself, and the sunset would actually be starting to happen behind Larkspur. And for that split second, you would see that familiar green light before it fully sets. And you guys continue to fly back towards the estate while you're pondering on these words. I want to move over to Maddie now to figure out what he's doing.
Okay.
He's hanging out with Phantom that's not actually a panther.
So, not too far off. In that regard, he would actually, because we were introduced to our rooms last session, correct?
Yeah,
So he
weren't
would have
assigned, so you guys can pick your own rooms.
Yeah, so Maddie would have picked one that's a bit further from like the main activity. Kind of give a bit more space, purely because to get more space for Phantom and all. And he would be spending that time to get settled in. And let me take a look real quick at something I have here. Give me 1 second here.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna try
Let's
this
see.
song and see. We'll see if it works out.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Try this one. I clearly have enough music prepped for all of these things.
Let's go. So once we're in our room and our things have been brought over, he would assist, like, and once the servants are left, he would assist Phantom in part of their usual plan is that make sure that there's nothing left behind for someone to listen in. So he would be looking around with Phantom to make sure there's no hints of any arcane or any objects that might give off any sort of suspicion that they might listen in.
Can I have investigation check from you, please?
Sure. Do I just use Phantoms? Or what was that?
Oh, Phantom's also gonna make one.
Okay, cool. I'll just support Phantom because mine is bad.
I'm telling you now, he does not have much better.
Oh no! If it's better than a plus 1, then heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. He has a +0, but he rolled a 19, so.
Hey, let's go! Yeah, better than me.
Yeah, I don't think you guys would have found anything. There might have been like some cracks in the wall. They were like maybe, but they're small enough that it should be fine.
So, with that case, and the doors locked and everything, making sure no one else would be around, he would look to Phantom and just say, I just give a slight nod, basically giving him the green light that it's okay that it's basically that they're alone.
You would see him like stand up and just kind of like stretch a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And just be like, sleeping on a floor the whole trip is not the most comfortable thing.
At least, I assume that you were at least cuddled by Lark.
He feels like a great weighted blanket sometimes.
It wouldn't surprise
and I'm
me.
assuming your ride went over well?
Well, she didn't puke on me, so that's a plus. But
how romantic.
I'm going to ignore that. But
we lost Dusty.
Oh no.
So, do you want to pause?
Believe it or not,
there we go.
I was like, believe it or not, the layout really wasn't affected too much. We just got Craig in Dusty's spot, but Dusty's back.
Craig is now forced.
Well,
the bear with the big key is now forced.
Well, sorry.
I assume that you heard nothing that caught your particular interest in that carriage.
There was some music that didn't start out great, but it got better as the trip went on.
Was it from that same guy who we shared that tent with?
Yeah, I did some digging, didn't find anything too suspicious.
So, just a very rusty musician then.
I guess. I'd say, Rosanna and Larkspur did bring up the Confederacy's library a little bit. So there might be something going on there later, but we'll see.
Perhaps, but that's not exactly what we have to worry about. And nothing that brought you any concern at all, really?
Not yet.
Well,
Seem like a pretty mundane group for the most part.
sometimes mundane is what we need.
I will say, I don't think you have much to worry. I think if anyone's gonna get strange looks, it might be that other boy, but the older woman seems to have him on a tight leash.
That seems to... That's what I was feeling too, so glad that it's nothing to be of concern about. But... as long as... and, well, Stars, as far as she knows, she's the reason that I'm here on this tour.
You didn't tell her?
Can I tell her, or anyone for that matter? You know how delicate the situation is.
Not to, but I know how close you two are. I wouldn't be surprised.
If I could avoid telling her at all, that would be most favorable, I think, but...
You know you can't keep this from her.
No, I can't. Well... at least, for the time being, I can. Just watch everyone wave their fans around.
Is that the flag for Ren Fair?
Yeah!
Literally, every time we get a fucking raid, I just smash this thing around.
I noticed. It works so
yeah.
well, too. But yes, part of me also wouldn't have to tell her, but I mean, it seems to me that she's sort of set on her path on what she wants.
What does she want?
I mean, as far as I can tell, just not exactly worry about this royal family life business. Be her own person.
It's a nice thought. How are you feeling about all this now?
When I was told about the tour and that I was going to be part of it, she was the last one I expected to return. Everything just seemed so clear at least to an extent. So I didn't really think much about it. But now that she's here,
It complicates things.
that it does.
If there's anything you need me to find out, I can do my best to try.
I would just say, for now, just keep an eye on just keep an, I should say, just keep an ear on on our hosts. Just cause I don't worry about them being a threat, but there's some way that we could make this beneficial for us. That would definitely be preferable. After all,
I'll see what I can do.
but be careful, as we know, Yondu are very, ironically enough, closed off like us.
Just gotta turn on the big cat charm and see if that works.
I mean, it works with Lark. How many times have you?
A little too well, in my opinion, but it is what it is.
Please don't. You can't deny that you enjoy the attention you get from Lark.
It is nice to an extent. But if it's gonna be long periods like that, I don't know if my back can handle being a pillow for that long.
Fair enough. Well, you do appreciate that you were willing to do that.
It gives us more info if you're not around necessarily. Maybe they'll slip up and say something.
That begs a question. Since you're so curious about me and Astara, what about you? What's going on with you?
You would see this kind of like solemn look on his face. Nothing's gone on since, well, our lives changed a lot. You see that he kind of gets a little sad. Where are my notes?
Look. He's gonna Maggie raises his hand and he's just like, look, Tyler. What happened was not your fault.
I understand that it wasn't my fault for you, but for Ruda's, it was my fault. And no one's been able to replace her since. Can you make me a history check real fast when he says that name?
Sure. Would this be just a straight roll, or?
No, this would be with
Advantage?
advantage. You
Okay.
probably know who this person is.
Fair, just the extent of what I know. And that is a 19.
When he said Ruda's, you would remember that was your mother's maiden. Like the woman that would work with her.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Sorry, just meant to lighten the mood.
You're quite alright. It's also hard to meet anyone when you're a panther majority of your time.
True. True. That is. Well. At the very least. Maybe once the God, I'm gonna sound like them. Once the curtain rises for the finale or whatever the nine hells they say, maybe things will change up for you too. In that regard.
It's a nice thought, but don't be turning into a bard on me now.
Please, no. We already have enough bards here. That's actually with a smile from Maddie. Clearly a joke.
Mm-hmm. I think you guys would just kind of sit in this nice moment of probably for the rest of the night, unless you had other things you wanted to do.
At some point, he probably would. If there's any like sort of gardens or anything, he probably would, if it was all right with not trying to intrude or anything. He probably would just walk those at night before going to sleep himself. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
I'll
something
keep
he would
that
do.
in mind.
Yeah.
I think now I want to move over to Aurora, because you sort of just left the kitchen in a hurry. Let's see what you're up to.
Yeah, so Aurora kind of left the kitchen in a hurry because, yes, they had just gotten to this house, and very likely that these horses would be fucking exhausted after their trip. So she was like, oh, I better get to that stable real freaking quick so that they can have a snack before bed. If, of course, Roland allows that. But she would peek her head in to the stable, if at all possible. Peek around.
Yeah, I think you would see a couple of the horses are already set up in stalls, as he is. You would see. I need to pull up his character sheet. You would see Roland leading in Peanut into his little area.
Hello. I brought snacks.
Oh. That would be great. They didn't really put out any special food for our horses. But, please, go ahead. He, like, gestures to them.
And, first one she would approach is, I'm sorry, it was Silent?
Yes. The horses were Peanut, Alexander, Quincy, and Silence.
First one she would approach would be Silent, holding up an apple.
Let me see. I think
she would approach slowly and with a warm smile, like, hi, I'm friend.
They got, like, nothing. He would take that apple so fast. Like, it's the speed of it, you're just like, okay.
Oh, I think somebody was hungry.
He's just chomping on this apple, as Roland, like, kind of closes the gate on Peanut's little stable area. Apples tend to be his favorite, actually.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I had no idea.
Thank you for bringing the treats for them. Not many people tend to come by in the stables often, unless they're just out to get the horses for a ride.
My mother used to not necessarily make fun of me, but she would sort of look at me and shake her head when I would go and visit the stables. And of course, I wasn't exactly paying attention to what I was wearing, so probably wore something nice and got it soiled in some way, shape, or form, not noticing what I was doing. Much like my own daughter, I am a bit of an head. Not so much anymore, but I always did love horses.
Did you
Gentle
ride
breeder.
often, or for any competitions or such?
I always wanted to ride for pleasure purposes, but unfortunately, it's either been stick to a carriage or, chill in your room. But my mom never liked the idea. Me riding around. Lo and behold, her little princess may get hurt. She says, kind of with like a sneer.
I think you would see him like sit down on a hay bale as he's just kind of like cleaning off his hands and dusting himself off from working as you're talking.
And then once Silence was done with the apple, she'd hand a carrot to him as well. Little something extra for you. Hopefully that means you could be my friend a little faster.
He takes the carrot, kind of looks at it, and looks back up at you. It's like, carrot of friendship, understood. And he like takes a bite out of it.
Oh no, that was the Silence!
Oh, okay, I see. No, Silence would absolutely take it too, then.
Carrot of friendship. Oh my
Carrot
God.
of friendship.
How foolish of me. I didn't bring snacks for us. For these little friends. Big.
No problem. Someone's probably got something stewing in a pot in our quarters.
Good to hear it. Gotta keep your strength up after all. Bunch of little royals and such to watch over.
I would say you're watching over them more than me. I'm just getting them to the right places.
Fair enough. You do get to hear some interesting things, though. Like, let's see here. My dear student breaking string on his lyre that I gave him. Sure, you heard
Sounds
that
like he
from
needs
outside.
more practice. I did
Huh?
hear a twine of something, and I thought it was the carriage. So that's a
No.
little reassuring. That's one less thing I have to check on tonight.
Yeah, no, that was just him breaking a string. I told him to not be so rough with it. It's a good thing he doesn't have this one, she says, patting the one that's on her hip. Otherwise, he might blow something up by accident, she says with a giggle.
Does that happen often?
No, it's just that this lyre, it's a little magic. Play the right tune, and for all you know, big wall of fire could come up. But I have not played any of those for quite some time. I don't prefer to use this for its magic, but previous people of my family did.
Must be quite the talent then.
Well, this thing's just magic. We're not exactly... Our talent is more with our voices, sometimes we're gifted with the ability to be great at using instruments, but that's not all of it. For example, I wouldn't trust my daughter with this. Not for at least another 50 years.
Say it's quite a gift to be able to create something from nothing, quite literally from thin air.
What do you mean? What, the wall of
Well,
fire?
That too. But I meant more with music. It's something that's always kind of eluded me, the fact that there's nothing around necessarily, and all of a sudden a symphony can be made.
Indeed. And in one of her dress pockets, she'll pull out her pan flute and hand it to him.
Do you want me to play this?
No, but you can practice if you would like. You could probably have it since I have like 3 more.
Okay, we're gonna do that. He, you know, like how people like tend to always do like a test thing when you first hand them something? He's gonna try something. He got 9. I think you would just hear like one like loud note and be like, "That's enough for." Yeah, and like the horses kind of get a little startled by that, and he's just like, "Not right now."
It's because you didn't have your finger on that one part, and she just kind of like points to it real quick.
I see.
Sounds like a loud whistle if you don't.
Thank you. I don't have anything to give in return. I'm sorry.
You don't have to give anything. Perhaps sometime I can teach you a little bit of music if you'd like.
That would be quite nice. Maybe in exchange I could show you some writing.
Really? Oh, I would love that. Her eyes light up. She's just like, horses! Yay! This is this is where her childish side is just showing. She's just like, really? You mean that?
I mean, if you're gonna teach me, and he like kind of holds up the flute, to play this, it's the least I can do.
Well, that would just be lovely.
I think you would notice,
dying.
I think you would notice, Alexander's just kind of like nudging you to see if you have any more treats.
And I think that was actually the one that she was going to give the carrot to next. Here you are, my friend. I'm so sorry for the distraction.
And just starts eating the carrot like out of your hand. He's not as aggressively taking the food as Silence is. So is there one that you would prefer to ride?
I don't have a preference, but it would be nice to be friends with Mr. Silence over there. One day. Perhaps not.
I'd say that is a good one. That tends to be Princess Astara's favorite.
That's so.
They bonded quite quickly over not being here for duties.
Oh, god damn it! I'm looking at the chat. Now, Kif. Aurora is just like, Honestly, I would be happy to learn how to ride any of these beings. She says, moving on to Peanut to give him a carrot as well.
Peanut is kind of sloppier trying to eat the carrot. Like, he's a little bit younger than the other horses.
Oh, you sweet thing, she says, petting him gently while he's just probably slobbering a little bit on her.
Yeah, it's not cute. Like, it's a lot of slobber.
Oh, well, regardless, she's just like, I'm used to this. This is one of the reasons my mom got tired of me being with horses. I love them anyway. She's like, it's whatever.
If I would think an easier horse to train on would probably be Alexander. He's he's one that has the most experience in competitions, actually, so he's very well trained.
Really? She turns to Alexander. Well, sir, it would be a pleasure to learn how to ride you one day. That sounds really weird. Ah, that's not in character. That last part about it sounding weird. But
Bombastic side eye.
shut up. Aurora's just like, it'll be a pleasure to one day peruse around the fields with you or something. Oh, what is the fucking word? She's like, how do I say this without sounding absolutely insane?
Oh wow, a bard forgetting their words. This is familiar.
Silence.
When you bow to Alexander, you notice that he also like bows his head to you.
The manners of this one.
Like I said, he's very well trained for competition, and usually that's a couple extra points with the judges when the horse bows.
Hey, you know what? That just shows how polite you are. She says, giving him a little scratch under the chin, loving up on Alexander. You're just moving on to give Quincy his carrot, just like, I can't. You?
I think Quincy is the most friendly of them, so he's like just kind of what's the term I'm looking for? Like sometimes when like horses like get like lean into your like shoulder,
nuzzle.
like they get real close. Yeah, like kind of nuzzling towards you.
She would like rest her head against his and just be like, "You were just so sweet."
Quincy is actually the queen's favorite. They find a lot of kinship together.
This does not surprise me. Very friendly. I'm not talking about the cat! Sorry. My roommate was like, yeah, just responding in terms of, like, cat. It's like, Sasha, come on.
Aw.
But, Aurora, after feeding Quincy and giving Quincy a little bit of love, would turn back to Roland. Thank you for letting me feed them some snacks.
Of course, you're welcome to come by anytime. I tend to be over here taking care of them. It doesn't look like they have much of a stable hand here yet at the chateau, but I've no problem taking care of the horses anyways.
Mm-hmm. I'll see if I can't give them a little something extra for breakfast too.
That would be lovely. I think at this time, you guys, if you like looking out the doors of the stables, you would see Larkspur and Rosanna starting to like fly back towards the main area.
Huh. So they went out on a ride, did they?
I'll be honest, I don't know how to super well take care of a giant owl. He doesn't usually get stored in the stables, but I was told to make arrangements for one here.
That does sound difficult, to say the least. That almost sounds like it would be Larkspur's problem. She says very quietly.
I think he would kind of just smile at the comment. She usually does, but that usually means Hootsufer stays in their room whenever she's at the palace.
Fair enough, and most places would not be happy with a giant owl just chilling in one of their rooms, now would they?
Assuming the room is big enough.
Not every place has accommodations for a giant owl, so I'd imagine not always. That is pretty cool, though. Sheesh, she must have a pretty big room if she sleeps with her owl.
I would imagine so.
Well, allow me to get out of your hair for now.
Of course. Thank you for stopping by. This was
It's my
nice.
pleasure. It is nice, indeed. I'll see you soon. She says as she just kind of scampers off to the... Oh my god! or just kind of, just swishes her way back to the house like, I'm happy. I made friends. I made horse friends. This is great. This has been a great day. We've made progress.
I ship it.
And she's gonna see if she can't find that sweet servant lady that she gave that cup of coffee to earlier.
I don't believe that she would be running around at the moment. I think a lot of your guys' servants have already gone to their quarters for the night now that we are at the chateau. But if there's anything else anyone wanted to do tonight, I know Maddie said he was going to be walking in the gardens.
I would say that Lark would, right before acknowledging the fact that they have to abide by the stupid sleeping at night thing, before going to sleep in their room, they would have a small bowl of water in front of them, and they would do their prayers to the Maiden of the Deep, as well as a small sacrifice to the Lord of Twilight.
Lark worship two gods.
Before going to bed, I feel like Astara would just like to confirm no carriage rides tomorrow. We're staying here.
No
for a
carriage
bit?
rides tomorrow. No carriage rides tomorrow.
Above table, you guys basically can stay here as long as you'd like. Essentially, like, there's no... the way this tour works is that there is no, like, hard start and stop. It is more up to your own discretion.
Regardless, with no carriage rides, Astara gets very excited that she could actually eat breakfast tomorrow morning. Everyone can stop forcing food into her mouth.
Brecky!
Breakfast!
But yeah, that's all Lark would do for or going to bed.
Forrest would just be sitting up trying to fix his lyre and just cursing in Intercommon softly. I cannot believe I did this. I'm better than
buddy.
this.
I think you would see Star just kind of trying to push his way into your hand to like kind of be like, stop it, stop the self-hate.
He boops Star in the nose. Thanks.
His tail would like puff up.
Do I need to make a roll for anything to fix the lyre?
No, I think you guys can fix your instruments pretty well. Unless it's like gets shattered, a string changes nothing.
Another string another string breaks
Oh
in.
God.
It just shatters it. Just
Oh,
kidding.
God.
Aurora would be pissed.
If there's nothing else, Maddie, can you do me a perception check as you're walking through the
Sure.
gardens?
That is 19.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I think as you are walking through like this forest area, you would notice kind of like a dim lantern also heading, not in your direction, but heading towards like the training ground area.
Would I be able to pick up on what if there's a person there, or is it like very much the sort of like they're outside of the view of the light or something, or
As the like lantern keeps moving, you would notice it would like be hidden behind a silhouette sometimes, so like there is someone there as they continue heading towards the training grounds.
Okay. He's gonna go ahead. He'll watch them for a moment, but will quietly cast Pass Without a Trace and stealthily follow them.
Can you make me a stealth check with your crazy stealth now?
Sure. That's with advantage because Ranger shenanigans. Because of the more in particular, the cloak he's wearing. Okay, that's 34.
You don't exist anymore. You stealth out of this game.
I stealthed out. I went
There's
outside.
no more Maddie. He's wiped from your
Maddie?
memories.
I don't know anyone named Maddie.
It was all a
Putting
lie.
Rorik to shame.
Boy.
Oh my God.
What?
I said putting Rorik to shame.
I'm not even
you
a.
would notice
I'm not even a rogue.
you just got rogue shenanigans. Yeah, you would notice this figure continuing to head into the training grounds as there are two other figures also standing in there. There's screaming happening.
Hopefully not
I lost my
related.
train of thought. Fuck. Yeah, so you would see 3-ish figures standing in the training ground as a light. It's still sort of dimly lit, but if you got closer, you'd be able to see more details of the people. But one of them is kind of just standing there, cross-armed, watching as two swords are drawn, and there's beginning to be a little bit of back and forth between the other two. One of them moving a bit more rigid than the other, as is sort of like circling and kind of got this upper hand of footwork on the other.
Am I able to tell if like these are like? Can I tell from the height if it's like say, like adults and a kid, or what could or what can I pick up from them?
I just realized I still have the stable music going. Get this out of here. Get out of here, stable music. I would say one of them you can tell is much more of an adult figure, the one that's kind of just standing and watching. The one that's standing is more standing, like kind of guarding in this fight. They look more generic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. They're basically pulling a Maddie. Got it.
It is, sure.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
But like they look more generic, like there isn't any distinguishing features about the person that's more on the defense. The one that has the nicer footwork is a little bit shorter and a bit more of a slender silhouette. Probably younger.
Mm-hmm.
As they're continuing this clash back and forth, you would hear murmurs of them talking back and forth, sort of giving instructions.
Mm-hmm. As Matt Eddie's watching this, realizing that this is probably just some late night training that's happening, his mind kind of wanders a little bit as he just thinks, how many opportunities like that were taken away from me? Just it's kind of like the nostalgia, but the kind in which that he wishes he had. Looking back into his childhood, he's just like, if only I had something like that kind of thing. Wishing he had that chance.
Mm-hmm. I think while you sort of thinking about this and wondering, you would see that the two that are fighting would change out their weapons to more of a fencing lance. As the tips of each of them begin to glow, and they begin to kind of just duel back and forth with this more proper technique now. And with the glowing lights on the tip of it, it's sort of you see the drawings essentially with this light as they are doing the various maneuvers, and when one is struck, you would see the whole silhouette of them sort of shimmer with that glow for a second. And the one that gets struck, you would realize, looks more like a dummy. It's not actually a person.
Oh.
As they continue doing a few more rounds.
He would continue watching for a bit, and he would he be able to pick up on anything about this fencing technique, or what from what he's heard, learned, or anything of the sort from his background?
You would notice that at least the one with not the dummy but the other one, it's much more of a sort of a baiting type of strategy, where they would sort of lean in and then jump back and then strike again, so they kind of lead them to leave the other person open.
Okay. So with that, once he's seen enough, knowing that he can't keep this stealth up forever, he will start to stealthily make his way back to the estate before his pass without trace runs out, because that lasts for an hour.
Yeah, I think as you were watching, then you would see the figure that is a bit more faster. That figure would also light up a few times with the light as it goes out, and you would notice it is a younger female that is dueling.
If I had to guess, how age range wise? Would it be probably someone like a teenager, someone around his age? Who would it?
I gotta pull up notes because I don't remember. Where'd my things go?
Notes and
As
stuff.
everything falls on my
Notes and
desk.
stuff.
Jesus
Notes and
Christ.
Oh, hey,
you would
that's me
notice-
every Thursday.
I would say you would guess that they're more around, a little older than you guys, because what was your guys' age again? I forgot.
I mean,
I'm forgetting. Elves have
No, I
weird
mean,
ages.
elves have weird ages. Basically, think along for Maddie. Think along the lines of like college years.
Same for Lark.
Okay. I would say then this girl that you see that is fighting, she's more like on like the end of her college years.
Okay. So like mid-20s, appearance-wise.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a picture or anything of her by chance?
I do. If
Oh,
you
okay.
can get it though if you get a little bit closer. Because right now you're still just kind of seeing their general features.
Okay. At the risk of seeing who it is, he will try to stealth, try to get stealth closer just a little bit, just enough to get the view, because he's not curious.
For sure. Your stealth is so high enough you can do that so easily.
Let's
like
go.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I'm gonna send it to you because you're the only one that sees this right now.
Yeah.
But this is the figure you see that's fencing a bit more with the better footwork.
Oh, okay.
And she's, but I think around the time that you are getting closer, she looks a bit more tired, but is still like pushing forward with this.
Okay. So, with that in mind, he will try to stealthily make his way back because he doesn't want to put himself at risk or the rest of the entourage by possibly seeing something he's not supposed to see, and try to stealthily make his way back.
Again, you went above a third. I don't know what I can do against that.
Natural 20 it?
They didn't get natural 20s on the perception, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh man.
Yeah, so you would be able to get back pretty easily and head back up to your room and such. Is there anything else before we move to the next day? Alright.
Not in particular. Maddie's just thinking, this just got a bit interesting. Not sure what to make of it.
I would say Rosanna would probably put the music box on just as a small comfort for her as she falls asleep.
Is there... Oh boy, can anyone else hear that?
Just a new place.
Yeah.
New place.
I'm
need a little
assuming you're
comfort.
all in your own rooms. I'm guessing that's what's happening.
I think so.
Okay.
I just made things complicated for you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So I'm gonna 2 seconds. I gotta roll dice and figure out things.
I will willingly take the hit if it makes things easier.
Doesn't work if we all volunteer to take the hit.
I volunteered first.
Damn.
I volunteered.
If you- okay. We'll do this then. Since people are volunteering, can you guys we'll just do flat roll a d20 rolls?
Okay.
Wait, what are we doing this
For
for?
anyone. if you volunteer for the music box.
The music
okay.
box shenanigans.
I will willingly roll 20 for this.
6.
Okay.
17.
Oh. Star beat.
Just
me.
a
Why
D20?
the hell not?
Yeah, just a D20.
Why the hell not? We'll do this.
Everyone's rolling.
We all want
I don't
music
know what
box.
it-
This makes
We
it
all
more
roll.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, why the hell
Can
not?
I roll for
Do
this
the
too?
lowest. Do the lowest.
You can.
I
You
can.
absolutely can.
You know what? For the fun of it. Yeah.
Okay, what do we have?
2 14s, a 12, a 6, a 17.
13.
Okay.
Such a tight cluster,
Okay.
yo.
It really is. We all rolled for this.
I would
I don't
say
know.
Gross.
I'm actually gonna elect to take a quick 5-minute break so I can figure this out real fast.
Okay,
Hey.
sounds good.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No,
Video-
you're good. This is so
Okay.
much more fun.
Video games need buffer time. Video games need load time.
Yeah.
DM needs
True.
load time.
I
gonna
mean,
put us in-
we've
Yeah,
all.
so give me
How many
like
times have we
either-
all fast traveled in Skyrim?
It's
Seriously.
also
True.
been an hour and 45 minutes, so we're almost
0
at the 2
times.
hour
It
break
has
anyway.
been.
It was a good time to take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
Okay. Get this music out of here. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop. Get some help. Are we back to normal? Cool. I've lost everything on my screen. Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
We're fine. We're
This is
fine.
fine.
I found it.
But this is
We
fine.
found it. So, as this music rings out, we are gonna actually go into Force's little dream state.
Oh no. Okay.
Lol.
So, Forrest, as you are drifting off to sleep, you do hear this gentle music playing as we sort of regain consciousness in your dreams as you are actually standing on a stage looking out into an empty amphitheater. If you were to look around, you would recognize this to be more of the amphitheater from the school.
What am I doing back at the school?
As you stand there, you hear a call out from inside of the audience, be like, begin! Go!
Alright, closes his eyes, turns around. 1, 2, 3. He does a twirl and dancing, and he uses dancing lights as his entrance. Like he's twirling and then dancing lights.
Can you make me a performance check, please?
Absolutely. That is not the right thing. Come on. What is going on with my 13?
13? That's, you are beginning to twirl around and dance, and you would hear, excuse me, from that same direction, you would start to hear clapping to help, like, give you a tempo as you keep performing, as it gets a little bit louder as you go. I think you would hear them saying, like, yes, tighter turns, just a little sharper.
Okay. Do you want me to keep making performance checks then?
You can make one more for me.
Okay.
That's not the right music. Ignore that.
22.
This one. 22. I think with your dance routine and the dancing lights, you would see they actually start like following you like a trail as you are gliding across the stage. As the clapping gets a bit louder, as they are also now walking up the side steps to be on the stage with you. And as you go to kind of like hit this big finish, the lights would turn, these dancing lights would turn like a bright green as the
And
music sort of like fades out.
And as they do that, so as they turn green, Forrest does a death drop. Like he does a flip, he flips, like he does a flip and then a death drop.
Yes. Oh my god. You would see the person just giving you a big applaud, be like, yes, you are getting this so much better now.
Do I know who the person is?
Looking at this person, you would recognize them. They have, where'd it go? They have sort of this more like reddish hair that's like braided down, hit their back. Bit of a lip ring and these kind of like greenish eyes as he's looking at you really happy, just giving you a applaud. He would offer a hand out to you to help you up from your death drop now.
He takes it.
You are doing so good with this routine.
Thank you. It was thanks to you I was able to do it. Had you not shown me the steps.
Please, I'm barely a dancer. I'm much more of a playwright, if anything, but you have the confidence I couldn't have on stage.
He just puts his hand on his shoulder. You gotta believe in yourself, Huron.
It's not that I don't believe in myself. I'm not meant for the stage. I much prefer making the things that people perform on the stage.
You always did have a knack for agriculture.
Well, it helps that you have much more of a knack for this, as he like kind of gestures out to the open auditorium. All these people looking at you? Ugh, can't.
I guess
Are you nervous for your performance?
Not with this crowd, but when I eventually perform out in bigger crowds. Like, my dream is to perform outside the school. But, of course, with my performance style, it's not really known in this area.
Which is why you'll be the one making history. And I'll just be watching from the wings.
He takes his hand. I'm glad I have you here.
Well, of course you're glad I'm the best. He like pulls out of his pocket just kind of like the small notebook that you can notice like pages are kind of like sticking out of it, and there's like a lot of indents throughout the page. I want you to be the first person to read this. I don't think it's ready to be turned in yet.
He grabs the book and he flips open and reads the first few pages.
You would notice that this is his script that he's been working on for a good while, basically since you've met him. I think it's almost ready to at least show my professor.
Does it, if I look at the front, does it have a title?
It does. The title of this one would be, I have it written down somewhere. Where did it go? It's called Periodic Fables.
I love the title.
Still working title. But, it's inspired by a lot of other students here. Some more than others, as he, like, kind of looks at you.
He's just glancing through more of the pages.
I think as you were glancing through the pages, you would see that these words are, like, ever-changing. And, like, there's some images that would, like, appear and reappear throughout it. Just, like, not out of anything ordinary, but because this is more of a dream-like state, if you take a closer look, I can tell you maybe more.
Yeah, he'll take a closer look at some of the images.
So some of the texts you would actually realize these are more like things that you know of more, like random thoughts that you had float through and fro. The pictures would be of your fellow members on this tour.
Wait, that's Larkspur. That's Rosanna. Flips. Stara. Maddie. Aurora. What?
You see her and just kind of like look at you, smiling like, those are much better names than the ones I came up with. And at this time, you'll notice the stage around you has sort of like faded away. Now you're just standing on the stage itself. Like there's no walls around you. And there's just a single spotlight on the two of you. Well, do you like it?
I do.
Because I can change it.
No, it's good. Just for a second, I thought I recognized something, but it's nothing. It's good. Definitely turn it into him.
Can I ask that you would be there for the first reading? I know it's not a class you take, but it'd be nice to have you in the room.
Of course. I wouldn't miss it.
He gets very happy as he embraces you.
He embraces back and just
so
holds him tight.
As you embrace, the dream itself would start to just fade away as the night keeps going. And then we'd pick up with the next morning. Is there...
Sir, was that the man that broke your heart?
So much tea.
So much tea.
You just, he wakes up and there's just like a line of tears just coming from his eyes.
So we have to kill him.
Murder!
Murder!
Huron is the X. Huron is the X.
Murder!
Meta knowledge.
Oops.
Yeah.
Meta knowledge.
Murder.
But yes, this would be a time for a long rest for anyone that's used spell slots and
Woo!
such.
Yep. And it is.
As
Spell slots,
we
what are
would pick up-
those? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Something I use, apparently.
Something that I used.
I used
Same.
I would say the next morning, at least on my end, your guys' breakfast would be a bit more private, as the Andus don't necessarily want to impose upon you guys, where they do also have some different lessons and duties they have to attend to throughout the day. So the morning is just kind of more for you guys to do what you need to do.
Is there anyone on the training grounds? If I look out,
say at this time there would be one person on the training grounds, or again it'd be one person and like the more generic looking dummy.
okay.
I have music going.
Larkspur is making sure there's no kiwis in the fruit.
There would not.
That's
be
not a
this
look
time.
there. That is not a look they want to show today. Actually, hold on. I have to roll for gender.
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 No.
Masculine, feminine, or somewhere in between. In between.
Hey.
They are they.
That is the vibe.
They are they today.
No, seeing someone on the training field. Sorry, we'll probably just try to figure out something later, but go straight to breakfast instead.
Or they could, or Istara could just like go ask, like, "Hey, when is it free?"
No. Where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in that?
Says the shy bean.
Yeah.
Rolls eyes.
She has her reasons.
So, on Maddie's end, after he has his breakfast, he would have with Phantom by his side, in his
My favorite boy.
in his panther form and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
He
I mean, it'd be pretty awkward if he wasn't.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
Surprise! There's another person. Who the fuck are you?
So, but Maddie himself would with Phantom by his side will probably just be just like looking around, kind of like not being too nosy and like go into rooms that would be considered inappropriate for a guest to go into, but just take a look around the halls and the various sort of rooms, just taking in the scenery, really, just like admiring.
Not joining us for breakfast.
It was a bit of a private breakfast, from what I understood. So
For us.
Yeah, for us.
Guys.
We're separated from the Andus.
When I heard private, I was thinking, oh, in their rooms, kind of thing.
No. We're like in a little private dining room.
Oh,
We're in the
okay,
morning
my bad.
room.
Come join us for breakfast before Larkspur has to go track you down and drag you there themselves. And they will. They've done it before.
Or
So
a star
then
will
if that's
do
the
it.
case, where what?
I'm like, if you don't show up, a star will do it if Lark doesn't want to do it. You got both of them.
So then, in that case, he would be with the rest of the crew for breakfast then.
And
There's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even notice the lack of mushrooms, which kind of surprises him, but that doesn't say anything about it. Not wanting to cause a faux pas.
Aurora's just
Lark.
kind of nursing a cup of tea. Just kind of staring into it.
Lark is half asleep still because they're not used to being awake, even though they got like 4 hours.
Forrest is just has a teacup right in front of him, and he's just has a spoon, and he's just stirring it, and just stirring it and stirring it. The dream kind of affected him. He's kind of sad at the moment.
Oh, Star
Lark
fully has like
pushes-
black coffee, enjoying breakfast. She's like, "There's no carriages today. I'm eating." Amazing.
Lark
Rosanna-
pushes a bowl of sugar towards. Oh, you were gonna do that?
Maddie.
She was gonna push a bowl of sugar towards. God, names. Fuck.
Forest?
Forest?
Forest.
Or
Yes.
Maddie?
She's pushing a little bowl of like sugar cubes towards Forest while loudly sipping her coffee.
He just looks up. Oh, thanks.
I
He
gotta
just
get it.
put some
Food's
sugar
first
cubes
settled.
in. And just continue stirring.
Maddie would mutter something in a language I don't think any of you all would actually
What
know.
language is it?
Oh, what language is it? Test us.
Minotaur.
Oh, wow, yeah, that is a obscure one.
Why do you know Minotaur? oh, Istara?
Nope, I only have comprehend languages as a ritual. Fuck!
Darn it.
I can't be a smartass.
And even that, it's like super faint. Like, unless you are like really listening, and it wouldn't be that noticeable.
I could. Rosanna has observant. I could.
Oh.
But
Do you know Minotaur?
Minotaur?
No, but she could cast comprehend languages if she wanted to. Nah,
Oh my god.
I won't.
We're so nosy.
It's too early to use spells.
Speak for yourself.
Rosanna, you were saying? Not Rosanna. Yes, Rosanna. Rosanna, you were saying?
Oh, no, she probably would have taken a little bit more time to come in. If anyone looks over at her, they'll notice that the white of her hair is very faintly a little bit green. And it looks like almost like you know what a plant looks like when a plant is like covered in hoarfrost?
Mm-hmm.
It kinda looks like that.
Lark blinks slowly. When my mom does that, it's very, very fast, and it's kind of concerning sometimes, especially when she's jumping through emotions. Because 1 minute she'll be her usual like springtime self, and then all of a sudden she's Blondie.
Yeah, I was just saying, hold up. I think we're losing Blondie.
Oh, what? What?
Someone make a gif. Someone make a gif of this.
What?
It's like glitch rave mod.
The recording's fine. The recording's fine. Yeah,
This
everything's
Your camera's just going off the
I
fridge.
get more and more pixelated.
Is this that's what happened? That's what happened to Tasha the other day when she was talking about things glitching out.
Yeah.
Everything looks fine on the recording.
Oh, there we go. Now you're back.
Oh my god.
Now you're back.
I mean,
okay, wait,
my
what was I
VTuber is a
saying?
glitch, so it's fine.
Thanks, Discord.
He's in the game now.
Yo, Istara's
right.
actually eating breakfast. She in the game now.
So, 1 minute she's like her usual like springtime self with all the Daphne flowers, and then she gets super mad and all the flowers fall and her hair turns white, and then she tries to center herself, so she turns into her summer form with like the green leaves, and then it's the fall leaves, and then sometimes she gets pissed again and all the leaves just fall off again, and it's a big mess to clean up.
We're talking about your mother?
Yep.
She's usually always in her spring form when your father's around.
Yep. That's her default whenever he's around. Without fail.
Almost like a little confused as to.
My mom's an Eladrin.
No, I knew. She kind of looks down briefly. Oh.
Yeah, your hair is starting to. I thought that most Eladrins did it very, very fast. Apparently, some have it where it's a slower succession. I'm not sure if it's an island thing or not. Also, I'm sorry, I will not have a filter on this mouth until after I've had at least 2 cups of coffee. And I've finished my morning exercises.
You truly are entertaining when you have no filter, dear.
Well, thank you.
It is quite alright. No,
I am glad
You
some
guys-
things never change.
You guys just see Forrest just do like a clap of his face, like.
That helps sometimes.
Sorry,
alright.
how'd they. And you kind of see a tear. So he just turns away for a second. Okay. Had a very pleasant dream that I wish could have been I guess a dream of the past. And it involved someone that I wish was still in my life.
An ex?
Would Aurora know who he is mentioning by just someone I wish who was still in my life?
Yes. You would know.
I truly do understand how you feel, my dear. That boy was no good for you.
Maddie's just Maddie's just sitting there with a bowl of oatmeal, just watching, looking back and forth between everyone, just quietly eating.
As she
Why do you
says
have
that, she
oatmeal?
sips her tea.
What? Someone just all cut off. What'd you say?
Oh no, she didn't freeze.
What? No,
I thought you
no.
said-
This is just. Astar's like, why are you eating oatmeal? Just like.
Yeah, why are you eating oatmeal?
The
You're having the
meal
most.
in front of you is potato pancakes with smoked salmon.
Oh,
And yet
okay.
He chose.
He
oatmeal.
would. No, he would. He would
chose
have that.
oatmeal.
He would have that too, though. To be fair, it's his comfort food. Don't judge.
Where is Maddie sitting in relation to Astara?
Probably next to her.
She'll probably just like do like a reach over to grab the bowl of oatmeal while grabbing her plate to like swap them. Just be like,
What?
You're boring.
Clearly, she's upset that you didn't make any for her.
I guess.
I make special requests for you, and you don't even take it.
I do. I do.
She
Like,
did.
and
She did make a special request for you.
Oh, fish.
Fish and no kiwis for you. For you, no mushrooms and plenty
Thank
of
you.
sugar for your coffee.
Wait, what about mushrooms?
Have you not noticed that Maddie just doesn't like mushrooms?
I assume he. Wait, are you allergic to mushrooms? Do your lips swell to the size of too?
No. But
What
I will say though,
You're allowed to just.
there
You're
was a
allowed
bit of a.
to just not like something, Larg.
I don't like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, but that's valid. They're disgusting.
Am I the only one at
Though
the table who
apparently
likes
Sarah
Brussels
said-
sprouts?
I
Maddie's
don't like. No, they're too bitter.
You like nearly
just-
burn them with and then you sprinkle like a little bit of cranberry and like
I don't like cranberries.
friendship over, I guess.
Maddie's just. As this is all happening, he's just eating the meal that was swapped with him. So, just staying quiet. Just
Look,
watching.
cranberries are too tart, and Brussels sprouts are too bitter.
Hearing like the tart and bitterness, Sarah's just gonna look down at her black coffee and be like, oh, apparently I do have a favorite flavor palette.
Yeah.
Bitter?
Like her soul.
Like my father raised me.
It does seem to be a running thing with the Ricane kids. Except for Tareth and Lonan and the...
So all the boys, because I'm the only girl. Other than my mom, who is also obsessed with chocolate.
Ow.
To be fair though, Tareth is adopted, so
Doesn't matter. Also, in fairness, we don't know how long you'll...
you totally cut out in the
What?
second
You
half.
totally cut out.
We don't know how long what?
We don't know how long you will remain the only girl, with how often your parents like having kids.
I do not want to think about that before I am done this cup of coffee.
Why is this a conversation at the table?
She was the one that brought up being the only girl.
It's a valid point.
Well, if we go with that, technically my parents don't have any daughters.
That is also a valid point.
Once again, though, we'll see how long that lasts. Anywho's it's.
Anywho's
I
it's.
plan to do some training in the training grounds in a bit when it doesn't have people and I need to practice my rope dart. I've gotten a bit rusty.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I know, that's why I suggested it.
Care for company?
You want to come do weapons training?
Yes. Because that is something I have to do daily. And I came straight to breakfast. Instead of doing it while everyone was sleeping.
Okay, sure.
I have an errand that I must attend to for him.
Oh,
Might I join you?
sure. What's your errand, if you don't mind my asking?
I promised I would bring some snacks to the horses in the morning.
Be careful. One of them's mean. They bite.
Ooh, Silence?
Yes.
Silence is a perfect
No.
gentleman. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's just very feisty when it comes to food.
He bit my ear. I haven't forgiven him since.
Well, what were you doing around him? Certainly not horsing
I was
around,
brushing
were you?
his mane.
Horsing around.
Was there a tangle?
Yes. That's
the
why it
problem.
needed to be brushed.
As a gentle
Which
tip,
never
when
bit
you are
me.
when you are brushing your own hair and you have a tangle, do you just tear through it?
Yes.
Oh, you poor thing, your poor scalp. Aurora's just like, my dear. She just takes a bit of her hair and she's like, hold it here, and then brush it out, and it won't pull on the scalp as much. That's probably why he bit you.
Why do you think half of my head is shaven? Less hair. That and I have too much of it.
Or, you know, when you
If
have
I let
long
it all
hair-
grow, I look like a pom-pom.
About that, you should see my son. His hair, very reminiscent of a dandelion.
It is.
Anyone else wish to come do weapons training? Phantom? Maddie? Rosanna? Forrest?
I'm not the best at weapons, unfortunately. I'm more skilled. Well, actually,
Even
can.
Bard should know how to handle a sword.
It can be a spectator sport.
he pulls out. He actually pulls out his sickle.
Oh God! At the table.
At the table!
Weaponry at a
Aurora
table.
just
Bold choice.
looks at him. Are you serious?
What?
At the table.
At
Right,
this
that's
point,
right.
Maddie is halfway finished with his meal while everyone's talking. He's just been eating and watching this whole time.
Aurora's already
Darn.
done. He's literally after her tea.
Lark slowly looks towards their wrist that if anyone saw, there's a rope that's been wrapped repeatedly around and around their wrist. Could be fashion statement, but if you were to look, you would notice that hidden beneath the ropes is a long dart. But once again, could just be fashion, and they're thinking, oh, please don't let her see that I have a weapon at the table too. I don't want to get electrocuted.
Maybe it's
Doesn't that cut off your
Jabari.
circulation?
Aurora does have observant. Would she notice that? I know that's mostly for talking, but
Observant does add a +5 to your perception. That's it. That's up to the DM.
What's your passive perception?
passive 24.
Yeah, I think that's enough to notice.
Would an 18 do it?
No, I'm gonna say because it's over a 20 for her, she would notice.
Ah, okay.
Aurora's just like, at least this one over here decides to hide it nicely.
It
He
does
looks
look
up.
like a bracelet.
Lark turns her wrist around where it's a bit more noticeable that something's been tucked in. Rope dart.
Right?
Do you think if I could tie a rope around this would work as a...
No, it wouldn't. Well, technically, but it wouldn't be a rope dart. It would be a... Oh, what's the word? No, well, yes, it's technically a rope sickle, but there's actually a proper word for it. But it is too early in the morning for this, and I need to finish the salmon and this waffle that has far... And you will see that they put far too much maple syrup on it. Like an insane amount of maple syrup. Like you take off a piece and it's still dripping with maple syrup all the way through.
Lark, are you certain you didn't? Are you certain
need-
you didn't switch plates with me without knowing?
I like sweet things.
Do you need some pancakes
because
with
I'm
that syrup?
I like sweet things. It's because I'm such a sweet person.
Indeed you are, my dear.
You are made up of so much sugar. If it rains, you'll melt.
I didn't know she was made of candy.
Rather to be too sweet than too bitter.
She just
She just
takes
does.
a...
They do a loud sip of their coffee.
Aurora just kind of widens her eyes
Lark.
just for like a split second and
Lark, please don't antagonize her. Besides, I'm sure Phantom would be quite annoyed if he's gonna have to deal with that today.
For Phantom's sake, then.
Thank you. And I say that on both behalf of myself and Phantom.
Thank you. So will you be practicing your spell slinging or knife throwing, princess?
We'll see what strikes my fancy when I get out there.
All right, then.
Maybe both.
Lark finishes eating all of their too syrupy to possibly be edible waffles and salmon, which they made sure the maple syrup did not touch the salmon because that would be disgusting in their opinion. Because they have the palate of a 10-year-old.
chicken nuggets and ketchup.
Yep. And they stand up. All right, I gotta go put on some training clothes. I will meet you all at the trading fields. And she gives Phantom a pat on the head as she walks out. to go change into some proper training clothes that aren't going to that they don't mind getting dirty and smudged. What's wrong? What's wrong, Matt? What's wrong?
I was just about to say I'm gonna form a psychic whisper with Maddie, and I rolled the d6 to see how many hours it lasts. Rolled another fucking 3. So it's
the 3 hours.
So 3 hours.
The
Sarah's just gonna look at Maddie and mention, she's like, I'm gonna get stabbed. Continuing their conversation from the carriage, just like, psychically, she's like, I'm gonna get stabbed.
Do you want me to be there?
Do you want to watch me get stabbed? If it makes you more comfortable to watch that, then...
You know, you have a very roundabout way of asking for me or anyone to be there.
I'm not sure if you want to watch me get stabbed by basically my cousin.
There's this moment where he just side eyes. It's just like, pretty much, it's like this. Yes, I'll be there if that's what you're asking.
I don't want to impede on your plans. Like, if you have plans, go forth and do them. I am not your responsibility.
There's this the mental side of like kind of like what you expect from someone who just knows someone very well. He's just like, yes, I'll be there, and I'll make sure that you'll be all right.
No longer mentally. Asara's probably gonna like stand up after finishing whatever she ended up having in front of her, whether that be Maddie's oatmeal or she got like more food. Like, well,
she probably or both,
because you know she hasn't eaten breakfast.
She's not a carriage ride.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna fucking eat. She's like, well, I should probably get changed as well. I will see you all on the training field if you are joining us.
It would be my pleasure to join. Aurora gets up, finishes her cup of tea, and gives Forrest a gentle rub on the back. I'm here. If you need to.
Thank you. He's just eaten an extra piece of salmon. Forrest actually loves salmon, and he's going to actually grab a couple pieces for Star.
Do playwrights and bards not get along well?
It's
Say
not
that again?
necessarily that, my dear. He's... It's not the fact that they don't get along well. It's, She looks at Foster. Foster. That's my friend's name.
Foster, someone my friend. Let's go.
Bear with me. That's an old friend's name. I accidentally said. I was literally stopping myself from saying that earlier and accidentally. Said it now.
Oh.
So oopsie
Okay.
poopsie. She looks at Forrest. Perhaps this is your story to tell. My apologies for cutting in.
Oh, you don't need to if you do not want to. Just
He
a
cheated on me.
comment. Oh. What?
I found out the day of his first reading. I went to it, and I guess I was maybe a little late, and he was embracing someone else. Instead of...
Oh.
And I
Aurora
left him.
tenses as she hears this. She's still very angry about this happening to her student. She's
You were-
very angry.
And I left that costume in a hurry. And I broke down in Aurora's office that day.
That boy would have been expelled if it were anything up to me, but of course it was up to my crone of a mother. She's very sore about this still. Forrest is like her son, so she's very fiercely protective of him. And thinking about how he got scored so badly, just ooh.
Meanwhile, Maddie glances over at Phantom, just like, am I supposed to be hearing this? Like, is it appropriate for me to be here to hear all this?
I need
Like-
an adult.
He's just like, am I supposed to be here?
I need
I
an
am
adult.
adult.
I am an adult.
You can leave. You can just get up and
Yeah,
walk
no,
away.
I just find it funny that he's sitting there just like finishing up his meal, and then he hears all this like, wait, what?
I just
Hello?
love how removed Maddie is from everything. It's just like, what? Just like hearing all the
Just he really is the wallflower.
Yeah,
Oh my
like I said, he is.
Aurora would turn to Maddie. Will you be joining us later on the field?
Yes, I will be there to watch.
How are your skills with the rapier, dear?
Rapier isn't exactly my specialty.
Ha, a shame.
I'm more akin to archery.
Oh, I see. A wonderful talent you have there. She looks at Forrest. Looks like it's you and me sparring, dear. Ta-ta for now, she says as she leaves the dining room and goes to ask, I'm so sorry, what is the ship again?
Roland?
Chef is
The chef?
the chef is
Chef
not
Renaya?
It's
Oh, I heard the
Renaya.
ship.
The ship.
Wait, that's Roland. That's Roland, the chef.
Roland is the horseman. Renaya is the chef. Rowan is the hermit back at Wisterian Palace that gave us the basket.
That's true. Yeah.
So sorry, I keep picking our names. It's
Hey, it's like me with
not on purpose.
It's like me with A names.
Connor
Look
has
at
a
the amount of
thing.
A names I've chosen.
Connor has a
their
thing with
ship
V
name
names.
is a Roland.
A Roland.
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 Oh
Harold and I are
my
on the same wavelength. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
This is what being best friends since
2012?
16 years. Yeah, like we were like 16, 17 years old. God,
I'm old.
we're both old.
Aurora would peek her face into the kitchen, seeing if Ramiro was having a rage once again.
No, she's probably sitting since breakfast has already been served. She is sitting at her little desk area, like with a cup of coffee and a small portion of a meal, as she's like actually eating too now.
Good morning.
Morning. Do you need a special meal? Was
Oh,
the
no.
breakfast not suffice?
I wanted to say breakfast was absolutely delicious. I practically inhaled it. If I had forgotten my table manners, I am sorry. But I have come for a request, if at all possible. Do you have any
Request away.
do you have any oats by chance?
Yeah, we have some like mixed oats in the pantry. I can get that for you.
No need to bother yourself. I see that you're sitting down and enjoying your meal. I'll just grab a small cup of them if you don't mind.
Go ahead. And she like gestures towards like where they are in the pantry.
And she'll gather a good amount, not a whole ton, but enough to be able to give each of them a nice little snack. Might I grab an apple as well?
Top shelf.
Thank you very much. And she will grab an apple and bow her thanks before leaving the kitchen and scurry off to the stable because she's like, damn it, they might be late. They're probably out on their runs or something right now. But snack, I promised.
Promise.
That's a bad ship name.
I'm
um,
rolling.
lost my train of thought now.
Got it.
rolling.
I think
Rolling down the river.
I think you would catch him walking out with Alexander out of the stable.
Oh, good morning. You about to go on a morning run?
So at least go let them just run around the field for a bit. Hopefully not get too far and have to chase him away, but Alexander's not the one to worry about for that.
Aurora takes out the apple, and as she was walking, she was already she had taken like a dagger and was like cutting it into fourths, not like fully open, but just enough so that she can just like crack it open and be able to give each one a sweet snack along with some oats. She has like a little baggie of them. I came with snacks for the horses again, unfortunately. I yet again forgot to bring snacks. Humans. People.
Well,
Any animal.
luckily, a lot of horse snacks are also edible to us, so that's why I keep a couple extra carrots on me at all times.
That's always a good idea. It's funny. My mom used to look at me funny when I would eat carrots on their own. I would like them when they were quite small, I think. They were baby carrots. Big ones were sometimes a little bit hard to be able to chomp down on.
Understandable. Would you like to go on the walk with us? I was just about to head out.
I would love to. Thank you.
As you guys would follow this like path that kind of goes around the estate, sort of along the borders of it, just kind of taking in the scenery. You would notice there isn't really like a fence or anything that like marks off the end of the property to the actual normal hunting grounds and forested area, but this is a much open area where it looks like they did clear away a lot of trees to build this. As you just continue walking through. At one point, he would offer to you, do you want to at least get a sense of riding the horse? It's just to get used to the motion. You wouldn't have to actually do any work or controlling, but if
That
you'd
would be
like.
lovely.
They let him walk and yet Tyson's been on.
And he would kind of put his hands together, like kind of give you a lift up onto the back of Alexander.
And Aurora is just like she hops up rather gracefully for somebody who's not really ridden a horse before, but she's watched plenty of people from afar to know how best to, you know.
He would kind of have, there are two different styles that people tend to do. Whether it's a full seat or a sort of like a side saddle situation. Most women do tend to opt for the more side saddle styles, for it's perceived more proper.
Well, it may be more proper. I feel like it would be less proper to fall off of one's horse. Would that not be correct?
Maybe not less proper, but not ideal. It's kind of a far fall.
Yeah, no kidding. I've watched many a person uh take a tumble from the back of a horse. And like he would notice that she's not sitting the ladylike way. She's perfectly happy sitting with her, just like making sure she's not gonna fall. Because last thing she would want is to look like, I don't know, just a whole hot mess on the floor if she fell. That's the last thing she does.
Can I have an animal handling check then? To kind
Sure.
of see how this goes?
Oh, sweetie.
It's above half, and with Roland's help, like, you are able to stay on. It's a little bit of a struggle for you. Like, you're probably focused a little bit more on that versus your surroundings now. But you're able to stay on.
Oh no! Oh no!
This is much different than riding on a ship.
I guess that makes sense. I haven't been on a ship before. But I would imagine it's different from a horse.
Indeed it is. But there's something nice about riding on the back of a horse as opposed to getting jostled around by the waves. Sometimes it's a little tough on your stomach.
Have to keep that in mind for the princess then. Don't know how well she'd do on a ship. He continues to like sort of lead you down this path. I think you would notice he's like, you do notice that he is like constantly kind of like looking back to make sure you're okay, like riding the horse as he's like leading.
As soon as we're done with our little run around here, I do have these snacks for them. I don't know if they would prefer it from me or from you.
I think either way will work, but I don't want to be keeping you from anything.
Bah, you're hardly keeping me. Well, I did say that I would join them with some weapons training. I told them that I would be a bit because I promised I'd give these sweet things some snacks. As she gives Alexander a loving pet on the mane.
He is not faced by this. He is a professional horse. He would see Roland and be like, well, I do know this path actually does loop around by the training grounds. I could drop you off there if you need.
You know, that would work. But that would mean I'd have to leave these with you. She says as she takes the little baggie from her little hip belt thing and hands it to him, full of oat. And there's there's a quartered apple in there. Piece for each of them.
He would take the apples from you, but like kind of push the bag back into your hand. why don't you hold on to those? Like I said, the path does loop around, so I will be bringing each one by eventually.
Sounds like a plan.
And I think you guys would keep walking along this path until you do eventually get to the training ground area. I'm assuming you're all arriving there more or less at the same time.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You would
Aurora
see...
looks like she's fucking on cloud 9. She is so happy. She's riding on the back of a horse. This is what she wanted. Her mom can't tell her no. Even though she's 650 years old, her mom can't tell her no.
She's living her Jane Austen fantasy right now.
That's a Jane Austen fantasy right now.
Oh my god.
Table boy included.
Yep.
I think... Scratch it, I do think you guys would arrive there before Aurora, actually. And you guys would see a woman there with her, like, training dummy as she's sort of, like, polishing weapons and, like, kind of checking on the training dummy to make sure everything's working. And I don't think she notices you guys walking up at all.
Does she look familiar at all?
This would be a wood elf woman with kind of like longish red hair. Got a lot softer features as she is kind of dressed up in this bit of like tall boots and like tighter pants and this jacket, this sort of like night jacket with a couple like tassels hanging off in like a metal. As she's again like just kind of polishing her rapier.
So she doesn't look like the woman from the painting we saw.
No.
We're not interrupting, are we?
She would look up. No, not at all. Lessons don't start for another couple hours. As she kind of like sets it down, it's like, apologies, I didn't, let me introduce myself. I am Umalith. I am a fencing instructor here at the Chateau.
Larkspur Taurus. She's, Lark's gonna gently, like, elbow Astara.
Sorry, I was writing notes. Astara's gonna be speaking. Astara Ricane. Would it be alright if we were to use the grounds?
Of course. Like I said, lessons don't start for a couple hours. I was just making sure everything is ready for it. Might I ask what you are training for?
It's part of our daily regiment that we have.
Well, it's nice to see the future training their hearts out.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of like steps aside to let you onto the grounds, which I have things prepared.
Yeah, things and stuff.
Things and stuff.
Things and stuff. You would, as you are like actually walking onto this training ground, you would notice that it looks like a giant chessboard actually.
Ooh.
The borders itself has like all the giant pieces are kind of set up as like a natural border around it, but they can be moved if deemed necessary. I didn't make her a token. That's fine. I'll move you guys to it so you can see.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
It doesn't fully line up with Roll20 things, but it's enough.
Good
Hey.
enough.
Details, details.
It works.
Ooh, is it like
But,
gravel or what's the?
It's more of like a stone, like marble-ish.
So it's gonna hurt if we fall.
Yes,
Nice.
very much.
Cool.
But yeah, she would step aside and be like, if you are in need of anything, I will be just right here.
Thank you very
Again,
much.
My name is Umalith.
Thank you, Umalith. That's very much. We're not taking you away from your own training, are we?
No, no. I basically out here all day in case anyone that isn't scheduled to train with some lessons.
I see. As very commendable of you.
It's what I was hired on to do. It's no big deal at all.
Still, to be out here so ahead of time from the regular lessons, it's nothing to scoff at.
I quite prefer being out here on the train field. Reminds me of some of the glory days, almost.
Understandable.
There's a
Okay.
picture of her for you guys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh,
Is she
pretty
wait,
woman.
hold on.
Is it a
Let
pretty
me let it
woman?
load. I have
Pretty
to let
woman.
it load.
Pretty woman walking down the
Hey.
street.
Pretty woman walking down the street.
So,
Pretty
that's
woman.
Where
I
is it?
love it.
God
Roll
damn.
20.
She is a wood elf. She just doesn't have pointed ears in the reference image.
Okay.
I will
Fair
state
enough.
That.
Where is the reference image?
It's in
It's
the,
in the
just
image.
chat.
My phone's a little slow with the Discord
Oh,
because
oh no!
I'll look at it in a bit. I'll take your word
Okay.
for it.
I
Lark
would
gives
say
her a
it's-
smile and a slight bow as thanks as they go towards the training dummy and bindings
I
on
didn't
their
look at
wrists
tokens
to
for
lift.
that either. It's fine.
So do the chess
To let
pieces
the rope dart
count
drop.
as dummies? Is that what's happening, or?
Mechanics wise, it is a steel defender.
Oh. Okay,
It's just specifically used for training.
got it.
I don't have a token for it.
It's okay.
I didn't think
It's
Theater
of
okay.
it.
Theater of the mind.
But yeah, the training dummy would just kind of be sitting there, like, not active at the moment. So, like, almost like ragdoll in a way. Because it looks more like, fuck it, I'm just gonna use this thing. It looks like one of more like these guys. Ignore the face.
Fair enough. Oh god, that's
You mean to
terrifying.
tell me that the kiddos didn't draw on their faces at some point and the parents kept it there?
Amazing.
No, this is her, like, personal steel defender. So it does look more like mannequin-like, but you can notice, like, scratches and where it's been, like, struck multiple times.
Are we sharing one? Is this what's happening?
I don't know. Unless you want to go at each other.
Do you want that?
Do you?
I'm fine with either. Do you want to hit me? Or at least
Not
attempt to?
particularly.
Okay.
Attempt.
Attempt? There's no guarantee.
Testing them.
Is that a challenge?
She thinks it is. Okay, princess, let's see what you got.
Oh.
I think at this time, Aurora, you and Roland would be walking up.
Are they holding hands?
No, she's still in the back of the horse.
And
That'd be very hard to get
trying
past
her
it.
damnedest
She's
to
holding
stay on that fucking horse. She is having difficulties. She is not used to it.
Aw.
Would I be?
At all.
Would I notice? Would I notice her having a hard time?
Make a perception check. We're just
Okay.
gonna use these two things for now to represent them. Oh,
11.
I
There's
think
a
you're more
horse.
just- I think you're more just like, wow, she's on a horse.
Majestic. So majestic.
Can't.
Majestic. What is with me rolling low perception? My perception is high.
Sometimes you just don't get a lucky character sheet.
Nah, he's got a +8 in perception. He should
Yeah.
be doing better.
Exactly.
I
Unknown is
believe you
important
guys
things
should have
later.
control of your tokens if you are gonna skirmish. I believe I
Apparently.
set that up right.
Well, apparently, Star and Lark are going at it.
Yeah.
Aurora is looking on either side of the horse like, which side is easiest to hop off on? I forget my etiquette. She's like, she's not saying this
Where are
out
we
loud,
going?
but you could tell the
Alright,
the
where
wheels
do you
are
wanna
turning
go?
in her head.
Here. There.
Oh, we're in the same square? Okay.
Oh wait, hold on.
I was saying,
Yeah.
I mean, we have to be within 5 feet of each other. I don't know what your reach is.
I mean, I have a rope dart, so
I have spells.
I'm good. If anything, that might be too close for me, but whatever.
We'll find out.
I'll deal.
Oh god. Star's probably drawing her sword. And looking at Large like, rules of engagement? Same as always?
Rules of engagement. Same as always.
What do you want to set for rules real quick? Because I know what you have. That gives you an advantage, technically.
No spells above 2nd level.
Ooh, on each other, or can we use something on ourselves?
You can use it on yourself.
Okay.
No spells above 2nd level.
Non-lethal?
Person has to yell yield. Yeah, they have to yell yield before they drop to 0 hit points.
No hard feelings. If you do drop to 0,
No
that's your own
hard
fault.
feelings.
That's your own fault for gambling? Okay.
Not the face.
This is a social arrangement, yes.
Not the moneymaker.
It's a social arrangement, not the face, and ideally not
Not-
in a noticeable area.
Not the moneymaker or the baby maker area.
Yeah.
Please. Okay.
Alrighty.
Are we rolling initiative?
Yep.
I would say so. I would say for anyone watching, if you like to influence this duel in any way, also roll initiative.
Oh, I could do
14.
bardic inspiration.
Maddie is basically is getting the
Maddie-
cure wounds prepped.
21.
Why are you rolling initiative, Forrest? Are you in this fight?
I would say if people are gonna
Influence.
it at all, they can.
Influence. Okay.
Maddie's basically being the basically the on-hand medic.
Oh shit! It
Right
put it
now,
easy for you. What the fuck?
Aurora's trying to figure out how to get off the horse without trying to ask for help. Because she doesn't want to seem absolutely, completely helpless.
Wait, does she not want her strong stable boy to lift her off the horse?
Look, if she can not like inconvenience him at all, she's gonna try her best to not inconvenience him.
If you are doing this by yourself, can you make me either an athletics
Oh no, she's
or
looking on
acrobatics?
either side of her the
Okay.
horse. She's like,
I
she
think
kinda
he would
looks at him.
notice. would you?
DM,
do you
I
need me
just
to
sent
help?
you a DM.
Oh,
I think. I
okay.
tried.
Yeah.
Moment. Nice.
Okay.
Her cheeks go a little red, and she's like, "Yeah, I might need some help. I was trying to do it on my own, but the last one it hurt this."
Okay. He would reach out up to you and like sort of grab you on the sides to like plop you down. He rolled high enough that it's a soft transfer.
And Aurora would bow politely to him. "Thank you. That was lovely." And she takes the bag from her belt once more, grabs like a handful, and holds them out to Alexander, who was such a good boy the entire time.
Didn't you get 2 on here, Larkspur? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Because there's one that has your token versus your written one. Your token showed up with the one that
Is that one supposed to be Hootie?
No, I don't know how this works. Get out of here, old one. How do I? Fuck. How do I do anything?
Harold.
It's fine. I don't know how any of this works. It's
How
fine.
do?
What's going on? What's up?
I got rid of it. It's fine. I did something.
Okay.
It's gone now, I guess.
We did it.
Okay, I heard my name. I'm assuming someone needed help.
That's a future thing to figure out later.
Okay.
We're ready. Let's do this
I'll say-
quickly.
We gotta squeeze this in fast.
Yeah,
I
40
only
minutes.
have-
Let's go.
Is it just what was Astara's?
Oh god. 14.
14.
I only have 46 HP. This is gonna go fast. I'm a wizard.
Mine's a 7.
I would say, is no one else participating other than Larkspur, Forrest, and Astara?
Maddie is medic.
You know,
Maddie's medic.
Aurora might choose somebody to be her dance partner, so
You do have the training dummy too. That's still on the field.
I don't believe the training dummy is helping in this duel.
Well, I was talking for
Aurora
Aurora.
got 26 for initiative
Okay.
because
so
that woman
no
is busted.
So
Rosanna's in a
no one else-
corner, kind of like, I can't do anything.
Okay.
I'm watching.
Okay. Let's get this
Before-
out here.
She'll probably be like over by Maddie, just like watching. It's like
That.
Yep,
Get that out
basically.
of here.
just
Maddie's like, I ain't getting involved. The only thing I'm doing is healing.
Oh, I don't
Alright.
get sneak attack.
Yeah, no, I don't either. We don't get sneak attack unless
The
someone-
rogues are on equal ground.
Yes, because I only have. I probably have less rogue than Lark.
Okay, to begin, Aurora, you roll the highest. What are you doing?
After feeding Alexander the oats and turning back to the group who is currently about to start battling each other, you will notice her eyes flash a different color as she claps her hands together, and Istara becomes her dance partner. With that, hold on, let me read that real quick.
I'm like, what does that mean?
As a bonus action, you choose one ally within 30 feet of you to become your dance partner. Until the start of your next turn, you and your dance partner have advantage on dexterity and charisma saving throws, and you can impose disadvantage on attack rolls made against your dance partner as a reaction. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier. In addition, starting at 11th level, when you use your bardic inspiration on someone other than your dance partner, and your dance partner is within 30 feet of you, you can use a reaction to inspire your dance partner as well.
Well, we're only level 10, so.
Yeah.
Question: what color does your magic sort of like manifest as?
A misty seafoam green.
Okay, we'll put.
And that's the color her eyes flash when she claps.
Yeah. We'll put this little green dot on Astara so we know. Okay. Forrest, your go.
He looks and sees that she did that to Asara, and he was going to be like, I was going to pick her. He looks at
Aurora's
Larkspur.
just gonna stick her tongue out.
He looks at Larkspur, and a wave of purple energy just surrounds Larkspur. As Larkspur, give me a moment. I'm using Mantle of Inspiration. As a bonus action, spend one of your Bardic Inspiration to grant 11 temporary HP to one creature you can see, that can see you within 60 feet. Each creature can immediately use that reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So Larkspur, you get 11 temporary HP.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Cat.
Hi, Marigold.
Astara, you have the first move.
Ooh, okay. So Astara's probably, because she packed in a hurry for this whole tour thing, is probably there in, like, her dust magi stuff. And so there will be a very distinct smell of, what's it called, like petrichor, the smell of the earth after the rain and burning ozone. Lark, I need you to make a strength saving throw for me.
Well, that's just fucking rude. That's a 5.
So you are pulled 10 feet towards me, and you're gonna take 2d8 lightning damage as a cantrip. You are gonna take 11 points of lightning damage.
Alright.
That's my first attack.
There goes the HP.
Once you are pulled in closer, in one hand, a lightning purplish psionic blade is going to manifest, and I am going to attempt to hit you. So that is going to be, that is an action word. Yep. Does a 24 hit?
Yep.
Ignore the sneak attack. 5 psychic.
Okay.
Bonus action will do another psychic blade. And let me see, because it changes how it rolls. Okay.
What do you have to say about this executive producer?
Damn it. 10, doesn't it?
Nope.
Okay. End of turn.
Say, shoot. There you go. Larkspur.
You might want to move your token in, because I pulled you within 5 feet of me.
Alright.
Get over here. Lightning lure.
Get over here.
Get over here.
Alright. I don't think you wanted to do that. That was not a smart move on your... As Lark is suddenly dragged closer, Istara, you remember that whenever they cast their spells and their magics, it was always this really light, gentle pink color. You see that her magic is this vicious, angry red color that fires off from her hand as cast Hunter's Mark
Ooh.
Aurora is
On
going to is that a rolled thing
Wait.
on your behalf?
Reaction. Counterspell.
Oh. Well, sheesh. You don't need my help.
All right. You want to play that way?
Wizards.
Yeah, rogues. You have to make a strength check.
Check or
strength? A strength save as suddenly her rope dart starts to spin round and around and around, and I'm going to grapple you. You have to make a 15 strength save against it.
Him being dance partner doesn't give me anything for strength, correct?
I don't believe
I think you said
so.
Dex and Charisma?
Yeah, it's Dex and Charisma.
Alright, this is gonna fucking suck. Yeah, that's a 3. Wizard!
Okay. Well, actually, realizing I had to see if I hit you.
Oh. Well, let's see if you hit
That would
first.
help.
Moment.
I'm going to impose disadvantage.
Is a 27 hit?
Impose disadvantage from Aurora?
As my reaction.
Oh, no.
Are you fucking serious? Aurora, you see Larkspur suddenly glare at you with a very vicious heat to it. And doesn't say a word.
What? Would you prefer to dance with me next time? She says with a playful smirk.
They're not saying anything. They just continue to pace as they're swishing their rope dart round and around and around. It's the end of their turn.
Aurora, we're back to you.
I believe it is actually at this time that dance partner would
End? Because isn't it to the end of your next turn, yeah.
Oh, and that also used one of my bonus actions here.
Get out of here, Dot.
Aurora,
Wait,
after getting
a third level spell?
It's on myself,
Okay.
technically. I'm countering a spell on myself.
Aurora, after getting the red hot glare from Larkspur, is just like, she's like, okay, I will sit this out, and she will saunter her way back to Roland, if he's still over there, just like, I think I just pissed them off. I'm gonna.
I don't think he's there anymore, but I know Rosanna is sitting in a corner, and I think Umalith would have actually gone. Okay, cat. Would have gone and sat next to her.
I think Maddie's with them too.
Yeah. Maddie was just standing there, just like watching this whole time, like,
It's just
I'm staying out of it. Rosanna's beside him. He's just like, yeah, I'm staying out.
He's medic and also protecting bees. In case we go a little wide.
He basically is protecting the beans.
Aurora sits down and is just keeping an eye out for Roland, but also watching this fight, just like twiddling her thumbs, like not trying to piss anyone else off today. Lest it get poisoned in my tea.
Okay. Forrest.
He's going to back up a little bit and take out his pan flute and play towards Larkspur's direction, and Larkspur gets my bardic inspiration. So that is a D10 on mine.
Okay.
And he's gonna be like, "You got this, the both of you." Doing, and then he just backs up.
Wow. Okay.
Careful, otherwise Astara might send her scalding looks at you. She says very quietly.
Oh, none of
Hey,
you
you just-
exist right now.
She's
Tara.
only saying that because, like, with how she just got scalded by a red hot glare, she's just like, I probably shouldn't get in the middle of this, love. Oh, shit. If other people are talking, I can't hear any. Oh, it's because I accidentally turned down my volume. Love that.
I think it's your turn.
Yep. Gonna use my bonus action to finally activate Blade Song.
Ooh.
Cool. So now I have a +4 bonus to my AC. I have advantage on acrobatics. +4 to con saving throws to maintain concentration on spells. That's all well and good for me. That was my bonus action. What was I doing? I totally forget.
You are currently fighting.
I
your
know. I
friend.
had like a spell that I wanted to do, but I can't remember what. Okay, sure. Brain wants to be a goldfish. We're just gonna. You know what? We're just gonna go for Psychic Blades again for 2 attacks. Oh wait, no, I know what I wanted to do. Hi. Using one of my actions, I'm gonna cast Cantrip Blade Ward. And so until my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, and... Yeah, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. And then I'm just gonna attack once with Psychic Blade. 26 hit.
Yep.
Ignore the sneak. Total of 8 damage. EOD, and a turn.
Larkspur.
Alright. Larkspur's rope dart is spinning rapidly round and round and round. She's going to attempt to strike with it. Does a 27 hit?
Oh yeah. Anything over an 18 will hit.
Alright, so 1d4 plus 4. Ignore the sneak, which is very unfortunate. So that's 6 points of piercing damage.
Halved. Because of Blade Ward. I have resistance.
Yep.
Anything else?
And you know what? For added bonus, the magic seems to resonate around herself. And I'm casting Zephyr Strike on myself.
Ooh, shit.
Ew.
Oh, shit. I know what that does.
What the heck is that?
Ugh,
Enjoy that my next turn.
You get, like, advantages and shit.
Oh, dang.
Yep. And that's the end of my turn. Actually,
Aurora,
one thing I
back
will
to you.
do is
Oh.
she's gonna suddenly bonus of Zephyr Strike. She's gonna fly like the wind, go poo poo over Baru, and I don't gain attack of opportunity because strike.
That's right. Yep.
So ha.
Okay. Aurora, back to you if you are still participating.
She's just gonna give a bardic inspiration to Astara now that, not in her dance partner way, so that, you know, she wasn't gonna get possibly, murked in her sleep or something. So...
Honestly, Larkspur's not gonna murder anyone in their sleep who doesn't fit.
Hi.
Well, I mean, getting in the middle of a fight between two people who are already kind of bickering with each other over, what was it, silverware? She doesn't know what's going on there, so she's just like, alright, I ain't getting in the middle of this bardic inspo on Astara. Just like, I'm not doing that dance partner shit, not unless people ask me to.
Okay. Forest?
I think I can only do one bardic per short rest, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. He's just going to... Oop. Sorry. He's just going to watch.
Okay.
Oh, he's going to walk and sit by Aurora. You pissed off Lark.
Nah, not at all. And she's saying this while her eyes are not on the fight that is going on. She's just kind of, and then focuses back on the fight.
Okay. I lost where it was.
It's me.
Yeah, it's Sarah.
It's Sarah.
Question: if I have 2 attacks per action, does one action-based spell take up both those attacks?
Yes.
DM's in the... okay. Ooh. Huh. Still have Bladesong up. Oh, first we're going to... let's make it spicy and do Psychic Blade for a bonus action. 24 to hit.
Hits.
Okay, so then that's gonna be, because the bonus action is gonna change. I think that's right. 6 damage on the bonus action. Action. We're gonna do Witch Bolt at 2nd level. 25 to hit.
Hits.
20 damage. Lightning. That's EOT. Star's just like blinders on, just fully looking like Lark dead in the eye, just like, what's next?
Alright. Lark is going to use Zephyr Strike, attack with Rope Dart with advantage. Thank God for advantage.
Don't forget the inspo.
Yeah, there's the inspo, but I'm gonna see if I can get a 20. Nope, okay, 15.
Doesn't hit.
Plus a d10.
Oh, you're doing Bardic.
Yeah. So that's 21 to hit.
Shield. Doesn't hit. I'm now at a 22 for AC.
Okay.
Yeah, 18, 19, 20, 21, 18 plus 5.
23.
23. That 23 is my new AC for the turn.
Anything else, Larkspur?
I'm just trying to figure that out right now.
Wizards.
Fortunately, Larkspur was built for a stealth mission. And she is not going into happy places right now in her mind.
How are you looking, boo?
She has 61 out of 100 HP.
Okay. Okay. The fact that I'm starting at half your HP, less than half your HP? Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pissing her off.
Like I said, you can attempt.
Alright. Dagger in hand, she's gonna basically run at Istara, try to stab her.
Player wants you to hit so bad.
Oh!
Oh.
Lark is not in her right mind right now. End of my turn.
I'm just gonna say it like this. Bards, do you have anything you'd like to do? Since
Give
you
me
guys
a
are just right
moment.
after each other.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a moment.
Aurora kind of is watching all of this and remembering the sword training her and her husband would do with one another, and she is having the biggest urge to join in with the fighting in some way, shape, or form. But she's like, perhaps I should find my own sparring partner instead of cutting in the middle of that. So she's just paying attention to what's going on. And if I think Aurora has 3? Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah, she does. Okay. She has 3 bardic inspos, so she's just waiting to be able to snap another one on somebody. Not clap, because that's how she starts her dance.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have 3 and I only have 1?
Good question,
Subclass.
because there's 3 under bardic inspiration and like 5 under dance partner.
It's probably a subclass thing because you're using a homebrew subclass right now.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
that's fair.
Istara, it's your go again.
Oh boy, probably noticing Lark not getting a hit on her despite what she's been doing. Astara is probably just gonna drop all spell effects. And just stand there looking at Lark. Just be like, are you okay? This is not normal.
Question.
I'm not willing. Oh, are you actually?
For now.
I'm not willing to fight someone who's not gonna be on equal playing field.
And that was the wrong thing to say. Okay, you're not doing anything?
Nope, EOT. All spell effects dropped.
Alright. The second that they heard, they seemed to start to settle, but then when they heard not on equal playing field, all of a sudden rope dart out again, trying to hit you.
You just need a hit.
21.
Hit.
Piercing. Six points. Goes in with the offhand fighting, goes in with the dagger. God damn it. I'm not gonna roll with the virtual dice anymore.
Oh my god. That dagger is
Yeah, that's
bad
like
news.
Yeah,
I think it's a
like
roll 20 itself.
Can I let
I think
Lark
it
take
is.
that
that's
dagger
like
attack
towards the natural
again?
one.
Yeah,
I
I,
let
think
him-
the dagger's just cursed.
I'll let
Yeah,
you
you
roll it
can-
again.
Yeah, if it's okay
Alright.
with your opponent.
I'm okay with it.
That's better. That's 16. 16 plus 8 is 24.
You hit. I'm a squishy baby. 14 maybe.
So that's 8 points of piercing with the dagger.
Cool.
My bards. Anything from you?
Um, nope, just still watching.
I'm gonna take that as a no from you, Tasha. Okay.
She's just. There's distractions.
Mm-hmm. So back to you, Astara.
Finally getting hit pretty hard. Strength save 16. Lark, please make me a strength save.
That was a 16, but I have a negative strength
Ooh,
modifier. That
baby.
would be something, Astara. You're noticing she's not as strong as she.
7 damage, and you are pulled 10 feet closer to me. I want you close to me. With you tethered in close to her, she's gonna do Psionic Blade. That's her other attack. 18 to hit.
18 does hit.
Ooh, shit. Ignore sneak. 7 psychic.
I am now at the point where Astara started.
Ooh, buddy.
Oh.
I'm also at half, so just we're in the 20s, honey. We're gonna go bonus action. Oh god, I need to protect myself. Blade song again. But like noticing the lack of strength that was normally there for Lark, you can see that like calculating confusion on Astara's face. She's like, "Are you okay?" End of turn.
They're not saying anything.
End of turn.
All right. Bonus action, last spell, putting on Zephyr Strike again. Adding it to their rope dart, I roll at advantage. That's a natural 20.
Good job.
Piercing damage. This gets doubled.
16.
So that's 16. Also make a strength save of 15. If you fail, you get grappled.
3.
Oh.
The rope dart suddenly wraps around and around your waist as she gives a sudden yank and forces you down. That's the end of my turn.
My bards. Anything from you?
Aurora, seeing this, kind of gently nudges Maddie. Should we stop them?
You watch. He doesn't answer, but you notice that he's watching very closely at this point. Like, he's. Yeah, you can tell from his body language that he is ready. he is ready to jump in once it goes too far for him. Just the way, like, you can see that his legs aren't locked or anything. They seem to be a bit more slightly bent, as if he needs to get a running start when needed.
Aurora would notice this and would basically shut her mouth because she figures Maddie knows what he's doing. He's been around these two for forever, so she's just she's just watching intently, ready to help if needed.
So for context for the DM, so Maddie's basically holding an action to run up and with the cure wounds if it seems like it's going farther than just the match, or if one's about to go down.
Okay.
That face, Angie. That face.
I'm at like 13 HP. It's fine.
So, sorry, it is your turn.
Oh god.
You're grappled.
I'm grappled and on the ground. I can still cast spells with somatic, right? If I can move my fingers.
So Matt,
I also
up to the dungeon.
that's up to Dungeon Master on that one.
You'll have to roll me an Arcana check to see if that works.
Oh god. Arcana?
Because I do understand that it could work, but I think this check will determine how well it can.
22, did I fail? Because if I fail, I can add a psionic die to that.
No, I think that passes, but I don't know if this roll makes sense, but maybe like minus a die from the effect. Says you're not able to do a full casting of it.
Okay. Or I can impose disadvantage. Okay. Does a 22 hit, Lark?
A 22 does hit.
Okay, so then it's only gonna be a 1d12. 5 damage.
Okay.
I'm too stubborn to yield. Fuck. End of turn. But Astara is like bloody. Like she is down.
Alright. You're too stubborn to yield. One moment, I have to do another check.
She picked this fight.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. So, Lark technically still has Zephyr Strike on because she didn't use the force damage last time. I just won't get advantage on this. But you're grappled right now.
Yep.
And prone.
Yep.
So,
Does
non-lethal dagger damage.
So fine, non-lethal.
Well, I mean, you can do bludgeoning damage with the rope dart.
True. Bludgeoning
Concussions.
damage with rope dart.
Okay.
Your bludgeoning has actually been rolling
I
high.
forgot I'm not rolling the virtual dice. Hey.
Don't you have advantage too? Well, because I'm prone.
Yep. Yep. True. One moment.
I'm grappled and prone. Kind of hard to dodge.
Does a 26 hit?
Yeah. Anything over a 14, honey.
All right. All right. So there's the. So 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and then with the added spell component of the 1d8 is 2. So that's 10 points of damage. Do you yield?
considering I'm at 5, yeah, I started like, yield. Please.
With a quick flick, Lark undoes the grapple on Istara.
So,
And just backs up, hands up.
so Maddie would, so he would quickly move in, and before, so he's going to do cure wounds, at second level for the first for Istara, and then after that he would then give another second level cure wounds to Lark. So like he would move in, go right towards Istara, but he would grab the wrist of Lark, just like hold Lark there, and you would notice you guys notice that his magic is a little different from the last time you've seen it, which for you, Lark, has been quite some time too. Instead of having that normal like forest green-esque aura about it, it has more of a rust orange to it. So I'm gonna roll for Astara. I'm just going to see. All right. $13 points is healed to you, Astara.
Okay.
To you, Lark. 13 points as well. Rolled 10 twice.
Look at Maddie being
13.
a little fair buddy.
Forrest
Little
would
doubts.
actually get up and go to the group and puts his hands above both Astara and Lark as he's using both 5th level mass cure wounds.
Dang.
Okay, so this is for Astara.
So, but isn't mass cure wounds everyone
It's
equal that amount?
everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone can just need to cast it once.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I'll use it once then.
More 13s, let's go!
Lucky 13.
Another
I
13
think-
for you both.
While you guys are doing this, another figure has walked up to this field. It's a younger boy with blondish hair kind of pulled back into a ponytail as he is in a fencing uniform himself, holding his helmet, and just kind of looks at you guys. Did I miss all the fun already? And that's
Oh,
where we'll
certainly
cut in
not.
Session.
Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut session.
Oh,
It's
buddy.
10 o'clock.